but we're recording at home. Hello.
Hello. Hey, quick question. Can you hear that behind me?
I can.
All right, cool. I'm gonna turn it down just a little
So you are playing 10 Things I Hate About You.
bit. Yeah, dude. And
It's been.
it's been. You know what's funny, man? Is I had a friend in college who thought that was the funniest part. It's been, and that they had that like for my ringtone, not ringtone,
Oh,
but you know
it's
what I'm saying.
been.
Yeah, it's been.
It's
Yeah,
been.
it's been. So that was one of their favorite parts of the song for me.
That's
Uh,
awesome, dude. I had
yeah.
what do you call it? Sorry, I know I'm supposed to be looking at the camera, but I was also getting something ready. I forgot to put the movie on. I'm putting on "Can't Hardly Wait" in the background.
Good.
Um,
Dude, I had Showtime, and it was like ending my subscription on well just the other day, and then so I watched it and then canceled it. I was like, yeah, canceled that. Sorry, Showtime. I just can't justify
yeah,
that price.
no, I went and bought them, so I have the DVDs now.
Ooh,
And but I just like watching the movie with the headset. But I broke mine when I fell. CJ took a tumble, and
are you all
I
right?
I took a chunk out of my arm, but I got my Peppa Pig. Got my where's that? My Peppa
Oh,
Pig.
there you got two of them. Must
Yeah,
have
well,
been a
yeah,
big
it's
one.
big. Yeah, I got my knees are all messed up too, but what do you call it? I don't know. We're a minute. We're 2 minutes. I'm starting to see how the time burns quick. The hourglass kind of just goes now on the live streaming. But hey, we're on Streamyard.
There we are. There's that
And
duck.
there's the duck.
Been wondering where he was at.
If everybody wants to know what we're on, we're using Streamyard to broadcast this. There we go.
StreamYard.
Yes, and I got the background for the thumbnail ready for when we do the can't hardly wait 10 things I hate about you.
Can't hardly wait 10. And
Volume
things.
9.
And things
I
I
was
hate about you. That's
I,
almost better. And things
well,
I hate about
10 things I hate. Can't wait about hating you about you. We combine these movies.
you. 10
Uh,
things can't hardly wait.
well, welcome everybody to the Side by Side Movie Podcast. We're your hosts, CJ,
And I've been.
and today we are tackling Can't Hardly Wait and
T-
10 Things I Hate About You.
Today we're tackling Can't Hate About You. All
Can't
right.
hate about you. All right, Can't Hardly Wait, 1998, PG 13, 140 minutes. A complete graduating class consisting of beautiful girls, geeks, and promising footballers assemble at a rich classmates' residence for a party. Interesting developments follow at the get together. Directors Harry Elfton, Deborah Clapton, writers Deborah Clapton, Harry Elfont, sorry, Elfont, Jennifer Love-Hewitt, Ethan Embry, Charlie Crosmo. And then we're putting it next to 10 Things I Hate About You, 1999, PG-13, 1 hour, 37 minutes. A pretty popular teenager can't go out on a date until her ill-tempered older sister does. Director Gil Jugner, or sorry, I'm can't even talk. Jug, Gunger, Junger, Karen God, dude, it's way too early for me to. My brain is not kicking in all of a sudden.
Karen McCula.
Makula, Kristen Smith, and William Shakespeare. What? Really? Anna.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
me the truth. No, it's right. This is right there. Heath Ledger, Julia Stiles, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I am sorry, I'm butchering everything. The butcher started early
The
today, baby.
butcher.
I
He's
showed up.
got his cleaver out right
Oh
now.
God, I got two. I'm dueling. Dual hands.
I was just
Sorry.
gonna
Yeah.
let you. I was gonna let you stumble through that. You're welcome
Thank
for
you,
all
man.
my assistance.
I like you. No, you don't let me drown. You just kind of you
Yeah.
did
No. 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 Listen, you're throwing yourself in the deep end.
Oh, I got to, man.
Swim. No.
I haven't really got much sleep. I was in my hometown for I guess I was only down for like 48 hours. I went to go see my grandmother for her 86th birthday. Kind of surprised her. I didn't mean to, but I thought I told them. But I went down memory lane kicks in, and these two movies are definitely down on my memory lane.
Oh yeah.
Can't hardly wait. I remember watching it, and it was in junior high, and I think I was so 8th grade, going into high school. The next year, and it kind of was prepping us.
Yeah.
As I'm watching these movies, that I already know right away. There's one I like way more than the other, but I like both of them. Like I really like both of them. Can you guess which one I like way more?
10 Things I Hate About You.
Okay, which one? Can I guess which one you like more?
Yeah.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
No, I like Can't
It's
Hardly Wait better.
really
Yeah,
no, dude.
as a movie, but it's kind of hard because you're dealing with
You
Shakespeare.
like that? You like that night of like that one night kind of movie? That's your thing.
No, no, I like the angles, the way the story's told, the way that everyone introduces each other, the way
Yeah.
everything that like it's the and you're right. I think it is that one night because it's in that moment and how they share it. So you might be
Mhm.
right about that. I think you are right about that. And the way the storytelling is, I like that. I like that. I mean, I'm right here where it shows the Amanda's face and they don't even show it because the
Yeah.
flashback she gets covered with the manila folder. Oh
But you
yes,
know it's
everybody.
Jennifer. You just know it's. You already know it's Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Dude, I was in
I
so much
like.
love with Jennifer Love Hewitt when she came on the scene, man.
Yeah, she was cute.
Dude, I was like, oh yeah. I think. Oh yeah, I remember I was a super love. So let's see. She at this point, I think this is her. This isn't her first movie. She was like in
No, she was in.
House or Grounded. What was it called? When they ground the parents. What's it called?
Wasn't. I know what you did last summer before this movie. Had to have been.
No, no, maybe, but she was in. Well, she's in a few things. I mean, she started in 1990, but it says she did a video short. It said Jennifer Love Hewitt, Heart of Glass, and then it said Kids Incorporated. Kids Incorporated. I remember that one. This movie called Munchies. Running Wild. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Please Save Us. The World video short. She was in Sister Act
Yeah.
2 back in the Habit. So she's already started getting her work. Dude, she's actually short videos. I didn't know. I didn't look into these.
Yeah, and then she was in. I know what you did
I
last
know
summer
that
in
97. Yeah, you're
'97.
right.
Yeah,
97. Damn, that's crazy.
so she was already
Already,
like
yeah.
there.
Trojan War. I think I remember this movie. I think that it had what's his name in it? Will Friedle. Yeah, Will Friedle. Yeah. This was a funny movie. I remember the story was goofy about this Trojan War movie. Yeah. So dude, but I was like in super love with her. I remember just being like, "Whoa!" when you'd see her, and then what is that movie with Kevin Pollak? What's it called? And what's her name? Well, she was in Heartbreakers. She was like she looks
Yeah.
amazing in that one. What was the movie called where she is
Oh, she was in the Hero video. Enrique
Enrique
Iglesias.
Iglesias? Yeah,
I
and
can
then
be your
House
hero,
Arrest.
baby.
That's the movie with Jamie Lee Curtis and Kevin Pollak. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, she was in Garfield. Don't
That
forget
too.
about that.
Yes. And that's with Beck and Meyer, isn't it? Or is
Does
that?
Garfield have Breckenmeyer? Is that what you're asking?
I think yeah. I think it's him, right? He plays John Arbuckle.
Oh yeah, I think he does.
Yeah, and he's in Can't Hardly Wait. So I'm like, all right.
Whoa, that's crazy. I totally forgot about that. Was it him?
Yeah, because I think Jason Lee is the Chipmunks. That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
you're right.
That's what I would get confused with.
That would make sense. Yeah, I'm checking it right now. Don't worry.
There are a ton of cameos in this movie. A ton. I mean, this is like
Okay. So I had a question for you.
what's up?
What? Okay. Clueless came out what 94?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. And so at the end of like Clueless was a hit if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah.
you have
95.
Clueless
Clueless is 95. What you look at?
95. So 4 years later, you have a bunch of movies about graduating, about getting out into the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like they're like, okay, Clueless was such a hit. Now we can really bank on these same kids. Like 4 years later, they're gonna go see these movies. I just because I mean, in '99 you had what American Pie as
Yeah.
well. Like you
Yeah.
had a lot of teen movies were coming out around this time. I was
I
just
mean,
gonna see why or what your thoughts on that was. My theory is that you have Clueless and you have everybody like clamoring for this movie. Like, okay, we're breaking the money, getting all the nostalgia factors going.
yeah, definitely. I mean, that would be quick, and that would be a quick turnaround. But I think you're right. I think because that's what what's his name? I just said his name right now. What's his name? Sorry, everybody. What's his name? Charlie. Yeah, Crosmo. Remember from Dick Tracy
And Hook. Yeah.
and Hook. Remember? So they made a big deal about when he came out in this movie because he was, and then Ethan Embry, which is he's a repeat offender, isn't he? on our show here?
I don't. Is
Wasn't he
he?
on a Christmas Story? Is not.
No,
He's
no,
not in that. So this is his first
no.
time. I think we've talked about him before.
Yeah, I'm sure because of Vegas Vacation. That would be my guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, you know what? I did do a Vegas. I did a Vegas vacation with us. Rewatch right now. Getting my shows confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's the first time he's been on here. Uh, Ethan Embry. Yeah, I think they really did catch it. And then Seth Green. He had already been kind of in the small cinema because he Seth Green to me. I didn't first of all I didn't even
He was
realize.
in it,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
I didn't even realize he was he was a yeah he was in it yeah he when I saw him he always looked like different, he looked like older and sometimes younger,
Yeah.
and then I didn't realize he was like a smaller guy, statue and shorter guy. So and then when I was watching this I was like, oh, I see it, I see like now his character to me is like real funny. I mean, this is kind of like a suburban like white high school. It's weird to see what it is what it is, but
Yeah.
I mean it is kind of cool where he gets a lot of the angles, dude. Those because this is a new coming of age because the 80s was already over and people are still living in that 80s in the mid 90s, still holding on to it. And then this is like, no, the 90s is here, this is how this is, and this is before the millennium, so this is like kind of they're trying to try a little flair and stuff, little difference. I mean, the Kenny, played by Seth Green, his character I want to say is probably I picked up a lot. I love watching these movies now because I'm older. So now as I've like see these movies, I can't play the kid characters, but I can play like the adult characters now, which I
Yeah.
totally get. That's one thing I do love about 10 Things I Hate About You. The parents or the adults in the movie. There's adults influences in that movie that crack me up.
Yeah.
And
Allison Janney, dude, is hilarious.
she's from Moms, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude, she's been
God,
in a lot of stuff.
she's been
Like
a lot.
she is I'm surprised she's not a repeat offender yet.
I think we're gonna. I think yeah, we're gonna find her a lot. I don't know if she's carried a movie on her own. We'll do a little research, but on this one, all the characters, I like the way the story's told. I like the way that it's just kind of like it hits me the nostalgia factor, but not in the sense where I feel like because I'm like, oh, I want to remember high school. I'm more of like this was kind of prepping us for high school because it's high school and college both were letdowns in the fact that I was like, it's not like the movies.
Yeah.
It's not. God damn it, I'm like a senior about to graduate, and I was like, this shit's over. And I there was a ride that can I do it? What happened? Like it goes by fast, and before you know it, I think my freshman year was probably my favorite year of high school. What was your
Yeah.
favorite year?
um Probably like sophomore, junior year. Because that's whenever I had my car and I was actually out doing stuff. It was nice.
Yeah. I mean, I like the beginning of also it gives you the introduction of the characters. Remember, like in Creed, they give you the fight, the characters like that. The way they did that was cool. The way they did this
Yeah.
year, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it really
Very
is.
graphic and interactive.
Well,
Um,
it's like you said, it just gets you set up for the movie. You get to know everybody in that little snapshot because that's all you have whenever you're in high school. A little snapshot.
did you slow down and read what's his name, the Charlie Cosmo character, William?
No, how much stuff did he have?
I don't know. I took I should have sent you the photo. I took a photo of it, and he had like Spanish club, it's like a German club, and then it says on there like Dungeons and Dragons, and like I think it's like fantasy or something. He says founder, like he started up. So it's just like, dude, I didn't know you could do that. Like I would just go to the clubs. I was in a lot of clubs in high school. But I didn't know you could like go to like you can go and join your own club. I always like, oh, that's cool. I would have started like definitely an AV club. Well, we kind of had one, but it wasn't. I would have totally had an AV club though. Like,
Speaking of AV Club, whatever in 10 Things I Hate About You, like that's the first thing. They send one of those AV geeks, like, Michael, where do you want this?
I don't know. You might go,
I don't know.
dude. Those. I honestly, I think those guys are us. If me and you were in high school, that's would be us. And then you could interchange those characters.
Yeah.
And like I didn't even really notice there is no like parent influence and Can't Hardly Wait. I think maybe that's why I like it a little bit more.
Yeah.
There is no parent. It's all you're definitely getting the kids for perspective. All the characters have their little moments, and you focus. I like the Kenny played one game of JV varsity. It says JV varsity one game. Like
Yeah.
damn, that's gonna be hard. I played 4 years, so it's like I got a lot of games in my head. The character too, the house party character. She's like freaking out by the end, and she's just
Yeah.
like
And
had it.
you kind of have that in both movies, with Bogey Lowenstein and
I want to make that name something on our show, the Bogey Lowenstein, because
Boogie
he's such a
Loads.
weird character, man. And
Dude.
then
And so another thing too is like, but one thing that I caught this time that made me laugh a whole lot is whenever he hits that ball and knocks out the coach. First off, that coach is just getting messed up the entire movie. And then I love that little part too where he like goes and he confiscates the weed and then grabs the I'm gonna take these two.
the
And
Cheetos, like it's like enforcing his power. Remember we've talked
yeah,
about this on the show where people like enforce power. He's enforcing his power there, where he takes the weed and you get the idea that he's gonna smoke it, and then
yeah,
he gets the chips because he's gonna have the munchies. Like that's where you connect the dots. See stuff like
uh-huh.
that I didn't really get as a kid. I knew I
No,
just thought
me
he was
neither.
stealing. I just thought he was stealing the chips. I didn't think he was actually gonna have munchies until you
Yeah.
start knowing what the munchies are.
Mhm.
Um, so the whole thing I really do. I mean, like I said, like if there was like a 1 through 10, which one do I like this movie better than 10 things I hate about you? 10 things I hate about you would get a 10, and this would get an 11. Only because there's the little things there that I'm noticing that now that I'm watching it, where when I watched it, I was like, yes, this is cool, this is awesome. There was a lot of layers I got, but now watching it again, I get a lot more layers. And it's I wish I would have done before I watched this. I had time, but I didn't do it. But I would have watched a behind the scenes or something about this movie, or see what
Yeah.
if anything. I don't know anything about the movie, but itself. But a lot of the acting is great. The I am a sex machine. Do we were
Yeah.
like we didn't really we had foreign exchange students at my school, but also
Yeah.
we were
Same.
the foreign exchange students at my high school, so we were like broken English. And then, but a lot of the characters I noticed, a lot of these people ended up going and at least doing a movie. Some I
Dude,
actually
we have a repeat offender,
who
Jason Segel.
dude, Watermelon Boy.
Dude, like he was young. That's
Dude,
crazy.
I love Jason Segel's like those cameos too. Like
Yeah.
I feel like he's been hustling, man. He's been around for a long time. Even like on Dead Mountain Campus, we plays Kyle, the frustrated, masturbating Catholic schoolboy. You know, like even when he does that, like that to me, like I'm like, dude, that's like what do you call it? Like I love all his characters. Like they stick out. Even this watermelon guy, you want some watermelon? And then he even has a shot at the end. Remember, if you haven't seen the spoilers, where Jennifer Love-Hewitt is walking, Amanda's walking out, and he walks up to her because all those guys are hitting on her.
Yep.
And you know, since I listened to the movie with the headphones now, I didn't catch this until I had the headphones. But there's a throwaway line or a line that they didn't that there's when she's walking out when all the guys are hitting on Amanda. It doesn't even come up on the subtitles, but somebody said, "Yo, Amanda, want to hit it?" I was like, "What? I've never heard that before." She was the cheerleading, homecoming queen, junior prom, senior prom queen. Ooh, big deals,
Oh yeah.
big deals.
If you're in high school, that's the epitome of high school right there, man. If you're hitting all those things, you've had a good high school experience, right?
Yeah, I mean something like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I went to prom 3 times and I only scored once, and that's because it was my girlfriend. So it's like, but
Yeah.
one
I went to prom twice. Nope.
I,
Nope.
I'll say a lot of the is Michelle Williams in this movie? I
Who?
think Michelle Williams, the Academy Award winning Michelle. Let me see real quick. One of the because we have a repeat offender in Jamie Presley.
I mean, yeah. Wait, what was Jamie Presley in that we watched?
She's in Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah, but what you said she was a repeat offender.
Oh, and I Love You Man.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not
Oh
Michelle
yeah.
Williams. Jennifer Lyons is her name.
Oh,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Selma Blair is in Can't Hardly Wait too. I forgot about her cameo.
Yeah,
Well, I
she
mean,
has.
that's the thing. Are these cameos at this point? Like, or are these just
No,
like
these
these?
are
These
their.
are exactly. This is their like first outing kind of thing.
Yeah, that was something I was trying to figure out to myself. I was like, how do I say this? Because this is like this is not it's a cameo for us.
Yeah.
I think because now that we're watching it, honestly think it's a cameo for us, but for them this is like their the beginning of their career.
Hmm.
Um, this
Taking
is
whatever job you can, you know.
take yeah
Like,
take what you could get. What was I gonna say? There is the actress that plays the best friend, the niece, Lauren Ambrose. Um, What else has she been in?
Yeah, dude. I feel like she's so familiar looking, but I couldn't tell you what she's been in.
6 Feet Under, Psycho Beach Party, Where the Wild Things Are, Can't Hardly Wait. That's where she's at
Boy, she sounds like she's. Yep. No, that 6 feet under. That's what I bet a lot of people know her from.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be something there.
Because I think she was
Um,
like a main character.
oh, side note, you know what I learned this weekend?
What you got?
That Giovanni Ribisi has a twin sister.
Really? Does she
Uh
look
huh.
like?
I forgot. I forgot. She's actually was in a movie that was just. I think she was in. I don't want to say, but I don't remember. But yeah, they don't. I don't know if they look alike. I didn't actually do it, but when I saw that, I was like, oh man, I was calling Twin Diesel. Vin Diesel, Twin Diesel, because he's a twin, and then I also Giovanni's a twin too. So
Could
I
you
was
could
like,
you imagine being on set and being like, "You're a twin too"? Like whenever they're doing Boiler Room, like I bet you they're best friends after that. Although I
yeah.
haven't seen them in another movie since. You know, you know what I just thought of, man.
What's up?
That looks like it's gonna be a decent movie, but I didn't think it was gonna be.
Which
That
one?
Jungle Cruise, the Disney Jungle Cruise movie.
Jungle
Have you
Cruise.
seen the trailer for that? It has like Emily Blunt and The Rock in it.
Oh, I've seen. I haven't seen the trailer, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and
It
I
the
seen the
trail
pictures.
it has from the trailer. It looks like it has a very Pirates of the Caribbean vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that the other day whenever we went to go see Black Widow, and man, it was in the theater. Like I was like, I'm kind of pumped about that movie. Like
Oh yeah.
watching the trailer, like they got me. Disney.
You haven't seen it though, right?
No. It didn't come out until like July 30th, I think.
I was okay, so I think that might be a good movie if it's gonna be more like the Jumanji style, but then hopefully it doesn't do another Jumanji style. Like
No. Like I said, it I think it's going to be
I don't know,
kind of.
Ben. I don't know, Ben.
I'm calling it right now. It's Pirates of the Caribbean, bro. It's a Disney attraction already. So is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Just because
And then they
people
just
watch it, just because now I'm trying to find out, just because people watch it doesn't mean it's good.
listen, man. I'm saying it's going to be a fun ride. It'll be, okay. You can't tell me that you don't like those like summer blockbusters where you just like go and you like forget what the hell's going on and you just have a good time watching it.
Yeah, when I know it's the summer, I can't even tell anymore what month
It's
it
the
is now.
summer, dude. It's hot as hell outside.
I mean, they haven't. It's not the same anymore because I can't go to the movies like I used. Oh, what happened?
It fell.
Are we having a technical difficulty? Hey, that's what the best
Yep.
lighting is. That's what I'm finding out with mine. I have to
Ah! Oh my God! You can see all my flaws. Oh no.
without the light.
Yeah, right. Without the light, exactly.
I
Well, I
like the.
guess I guess the double-sided tape. Hey, everybody, how's it going?
Oh, you know
Uh,
what I was wondering, and can't hardly wait. The guy, there's this smart ass guy in the red shirt that kind of looks like he's. You
yes. Oh man, I look creepy as hell with this.
should
Like,
you
if
should.
I do that, I look
Oh
like.
my God,
Oh
Joker.
my God. Ah.
Jared Leto Joker for Halloween.
No, dude, I'd have to lose so much weight.
Just
I would.
put the shirt on with the with the
No, I
trousers.
still no. Again,
But how about
if,
just the face? How just the
do you
face?
know how many tattoos I'd have to get? All right,
Is it still the best Joker or
Jared Leto. Oh yeah.
yeah? Okay,
Uh huh.
so we heard
Yeah.
you guys heard it. We agree. I'm not making fun of him. He's a good actor, but
Oh
just
yeah, he is.
the
Just
Joker.
not
Uh,
the.
so the guy in Can't Hardly Wait, he's kind of a smartass. What do you call it? William gives him the card. He says, "Hey man, I want you to have this." And he's also the guy goes, "Is this beer?" He goes, "Yeah." What do you think? I think
Oh
that
yeah.
I think it's a representation of an older guy, like a 21-year-old at a high school party, because I think he's the guy that got the beer. That's why it's at the keg. And all the stuff he
Uh,
says is smart ass, like, but it's like talking down. And I'm like, but you're kind of like an older guy at a high school party.
it's kind of like what's his name? The Trick McNeely.
Chip McNeely, dude.
Yeah.
I wanna do one like that for us, or I take my face and put on Chip McNeely, and I put yours on
Dude,
Dexter.
I should have stayed with my girl, bro.
Well,
Here, you hold it down for just a second. I'll be right back.
all right. That's Chip McNeely played by Jerry O'Connell. Like that whole scene that he has, where they have the conversation about their girlfriend or being in college and dating. That's a fun little love scene. Just the future you almost might be. But another thing is, there are quite a. This is a high school movie, so they are bringing a lot of like things to the surface, which I thought, especially for the time, like where we were going with a lot of this. Um, is this a love story? What did they have this under? Comedy romance. Yeah, so it is a love story. So let's get to some of the trivia. Because I haven't done much about this movie. Oh yeah, wow. Melissa Joan Hart is also in this movie. Was in the filming. Was in the middle of filming the second season of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, 1996. At the same time, she took B12 vitamins to stay energized during all the night shoots. Damn. Jennifer Love-Hewitt was skeptical when Hart offered them to her because she was convinced they were drugs. Ooh. Film debut for Jason Segel. Oh, there we go. Let me get that. Ben's not back yet. He'll see this when I post it. Let's see. And then I'll go put that in the for Mr. Ben. Let's see. Really quick little banner. I'm gonna get a little bit quicker at this. There we go. That's pretty cool. Big Jason Segel fans here on the show. Ethan Embry claims to barely remember filming this movie because he was so stone cold. That's a good one too. I don't know if Ben is hearing this, but I think he's getting a slight fixed. Let's do a thumbnail so we don't have a an empty. What? Wrong one. I've been having the misspelled or the misfonted one. There we go. We'll put that up first for good old Ben. Let's see. All right. So, if he was stoned the whole time, so he was just basically saying his lines, and he's baked in this movie. Now I'm looking at him, and I can see he is baked. Did he not want to do this movie? It's so much goes into making a movie. You can never assume if people are wanting to be on set or not. People go through a lot of things, and you have to be a professional. And it does get tough at times. Maybe he's just a stoner. I don't know. I don't know anything, but that's pretty cool that he did an awesome performance and he was stoned. So let's see where my co-host is at. I think he's got that light. I'll just do the thumbnail up. Let's see. There we go. It says the title is a reference to the song "Can't Hardly Wait" by the seminal '80s rock band The Replacements, and the movie does actually say. It does say the title at the very end. I was waiting for it because I'm learning things about movies, and there's certain things you got to have in your movie to make a great movie. And saying the title, the title of your movie has to be in the movie somehow. It can come out in the background. It can come out on a billboard. It can be in the title. It could be. It could be a mock line. It could be someone's shirt. It could also be like in this movie, sung at the very end. I think there's a part in 10 Things I Hate About You that it says a song. I can't remember. I gotta look it up. Oh, look at this. I got another trivia for good old Ben Hameen. I also like that Freddie Rodriguez is in this movie. He's been in I think maybe he's only been in like one Robert Rodriguez movie, but let's see. You back? You there?
Here I am, and hopefully my light stays on this time. We'll see.
I got the thumbnail up for you, buddy.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much. That looks Can't Hardly Wait 10. Oh, that's my favorite one.
Oh,
they lost me at 8, and then they brought me back around.
Yeah. But you're as long as they finish hard, I think because there's just a middle part where it just kind of
Yeah.
You got to fill in, but I'll say that's definitely the volume 10 is good. They're supposed to be going up to like volume 15. We'll see if they're good there.
Oh, can't wait. Can't hardly wait for that.
Oh, while you were gone, I was talking about that. Check this out. The title is a reference to the song "Can't Hardly Wait" by the seminal '80s rock band The Replacements. I was waiting for I've been learning about movie making. I mean, I'm a filmmaker and learning a lot of things, but when you watch movies, I've learned that you put the title of the movie inside the movie. And this one, I was waiting for it, and they have it at the end. It's when they play the song. And I
Ah.
was like, oh, I don't know in 10 Things I Hate About You. I mean, I guess she says it at the. I don't hate. I don't know. I don't know if they ever say the title of the movie. Maybe.
Um, I don't know either.
So check this out. Check this out. I got you some trivia here. Let's check it out. Look at this.
Ah, that's awesome, dude.
There we go, Jason Segel. We gotta make
Film
some
debut.
Jason Segel shirts, man.
So, okay, I'm on IMDb looking at Jennifer Love Hewitt's credits, and so I can't get enough of you, baby. Is also it's like right there around Can't Hardly Wait. So I'm guessing that was their song for Can't
Can't
Hardly Wait,
get
right?
enough of you. That one, the Smash Mouth one, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then it's in 10 Things I Hate About You, but it's a different cover.
yeah.
Um, what do you
Oh,
call it?
interesting, man. Romeo, oh Romeo, get out of my face. I just now caught that. For 10 Things I Hate About You. You see that on the.
No, yeah, yeah, no.
That's pretty cool.
I
And
got
then
that.
Party on June 12th.
So check this out. Ethan Embry claims to barely remember filming this movie because he was so stoned the whole time. And now that I'm like looking at it right here, I'm looking at his face and I'm like, he's kind of stoned.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's hilarious.
Dude,
You
change.
you feel like Seth Green was probably the one who was stoned the entire time. I bet you he was. That's where Ethan Embry was getting his weed. Or what's the other guy's name? The one who was in Charlie Corsmo. Yeah, I bet
Yeah.
you he was a big dealer.
I was,
Dude, who was I? Oh, it was Dave Chappelle on Joe Rogan saying he was buying weed from Idris Elba. Like Idris Elba was his weed dealer. Like how
oh,
crazy is that?
well, he's a DJ, so I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
He's the Kenny character played by Seth Green is a very he's got the two personality thing going.
yeah,
And you see it at the end when she like talks about like you last long or something, and he goes back. I was like, oh, that's kind of deep. Like I'm sorry, I've picked up layers of like different layers I hadn't really picked up before.
hmm
And then I'll say the characters like the William character, he goes through like a whole like what everyone goes through. And I mean, I think what everyone wants to go through high school or goes through it, he does it in one night.
yep,
And I think he has like the most character development, but also too I think that scene at the end where Mike kind of like disses him, I
hmm
think that's what drives him to be the millionaire. And now he's dating a supermodel. Like he's like, yeah, don't like it's kind of. I mean, it's a very vain thing to be like, oh, now I have money, I'm better than you.
yeah,
Because but also too, it's like yeah, you got to deal with that guy for 4 years, but then that's all you got to deal with. I don't know. I always think maybe sometimes the bullies actually win at life because they don't have to think, so they just stay just stay where you're at, and then like I still see like what do you call it? The chicks still like those guys. Well, I was more just the friend. I'm the guy that jumps into the hey, there's a friend zone here. Let me hang out. That was me when I was in high school. Oh, check
yeah.
it out.
Same,
The friend
same.
zone. Check out there's space in here, guys. Why does nobody want to come in here? It's like, um, so Trip McNeely. The fraternity on Trip McNeely's polo shirt is Delta Iota Kappa. Dick.
Iota.
Iota. I'm sorry, I'm not. You're Greek. I should let you say that. You're a Greek guy.
Yeah. Delta Iota Kappa.
Dick. I never noticed.
Yep.
Let's see. This movie is based loosely on Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania, and the high school community within it, where one of the directors grew up. Ah, that's cool. That's cool. Another one. Now, check this one. William was it Lichter, which was supposed to take a shot of tequila, but to maintain the PG-13 rating, they had to digitally replace the tequila glass with a lemon in a post-production. I also caught that there is one bad word in this movie. At the very end, where Denise says, she says "fuck up."
Oh.
I was like, I had never caught that. I mean, I've heard it, but I never caught that. I was like, oh wait, this is a PG-13 movie. You could say
Yeah.
one fuck right in PG-13.
Yeah. I think it's one or two. It really depends on the context too. I've noticed that.
Yeah, because I remember there was that meme of it said if you could in a PG-13 movie you can place the word fuck in any part of a movie. Where would you put it? And they put it at Star Wars where Anakin is gonna he goes kills the children. It has that scene where it shows the lightsaber and the kid looking up, and they put the bubble fuck. Like, that's where they put it in Star Wars.
It's a good place. It's a
You
good
know,
place.
I will say that I had my aunt and my uncle yesterday before I left my hometown. We were talking about movies, and they told me about they were talking about they go, so how many times have you seen GOT? And I was like, what? You know, I don't watch that. Game of Thrones
Oh
and
yeah.
GOT, and they're like, what? And I go, yeah, I don't really like, I told them, I said, yeah, I saw the first episode. I was like, whatever, it's not for me. But they were like, oh, that's you like movies, like I do, and I like Lord of the Rings too, and Hobbit. But I tend to lean more towards the sci-fi. If I had to pick a fantasy realm, I kind of go more. I go, Star Wars, Star Trek. I like to lean into that future. Like I guess it's the futuristic, movements or whatnot. But I did notice that with like the characters in this movie, like also just like what was I trying to say? Oh, like when you combine both those together, I was like, there's a lot of similarities, but I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, uh, what was that? Game of Thrones is still, I'm still not gonna watch it. So-
Oh no, that's fine. It's definitely not for everybody. Um, it's a good show as far as like drama and like whoa kind of and effects goes. It's really good. Like it's a very good show in that aspect. It loses a lot on the story once it gets away from the source material. Uh, like uh, sort of season 6, season 7, and season 8 were just like the showrunners. That was their best guess on how things were going to turn out or how they would wrap things up. And there were some aspects of it that was pretty good, but I mean, for the most part, it just uh, it just kind of tapered off. I've been rewatching it lately, just here and there. Probably over the past year, I've been trying to rewatch it, uh, and yeah, I'm on season 7, about to be on season 8, and season 8 is a lot of people do not like it. They don't like the way it ended. They don't like how everything turned out. So I'm about to rewatch that. I also have read all the books as well,
ah,
uh, so that kind of helps. No one. Well, and having that too. I mean, you can look at the show and be like, "Oh, I wonder how they're going to go here," or if this is a storyline. That
were you like that in high school? Were you into the books back then, or is that something you
no,
did as you
no,
got
no, no.
older?
It was actually um, a podcast I started listening to whenever Game of Thrones season 8 came out, and they were in the middle of a reread of the books, and so once season 8 was over, they continued doing the reread, and I didn't want to get left behind, so I got Audible and listened to the books because I was delivering
Oh, okay.
pizza at the time.
You listen to them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing. I believe is what they say. The reading
Well,
and
and honestly, I feel like I retain maybe a little bit more. If I'm listening like hardcore, I can retain
yeah.
a little bit more.
I think
But
reading for me works better for me if I read it, but
yeah,
it's harder because I got to read it like three four
maybe a bit
times.
of both would be the
Yeah.
most ideal
So
situation.
because in high school I didn't really like focus on academics. I knew they were important, so I did enough to keep playing sports. But for the most part, I try to see which character I am in this movie, and I'm really just I'm kind of the chick that gets all pissed off about throwing the party. Kind of like, but yeah, I don't know anything about her other than her throwing the party, But like that, other than that, like we threw parties a lot, and sometimes it was like being raised on a small town on a border, like everybody knows. I mean, it's like nothing to do. So if we had
Yeah,
a party and somebody have a house and people show up, they'd be like, I'd be like, that's too late, man. They're already here, and people would be like, nah, I don't want them here. I'd be like, man, this is all just we're here to have one thing. Let's just party. Let's get to know each other better. But then still, amongst the party, there'd be like segregation, and then amongst there, if somebody pissed somebody off on the other side, they would start fighting. I'm like, God, why fight? Why do we gotta fight? But
yeah.
it was always like that, like showing like dominance and showing that if somebody was like tougher, even if it wasn't even their house or anything. But I was always more like let's just all hang out, let's party.
Man, I tell you, you probably have a lot of these stories, but probably one of the better parties I had ever been to was my 19th birthday party, and we had like a keg of beer. We had a whole bunch of 12 cases. Like we were set as far as alcohol went, right? and we had just sold the family farm or family ranch, and so we were out there like it was one last hurrah as well. Uh, and so we just set up at the barn. This is like December, right? So we set up at the barn, and everybody's just drinking. We have beer pong set up, everything like that, and it was a good time. Everybody came up and said, "Hey, thanks for having the party, happy birthday," and all that good stuff. Like it was probably one of the smoothest parties that I'd ever been to, and yeah,
My,
it was a good one.
I don't really like big parties where a bunch of people are like like raves parties and all that.
Yeah,
There's those foam parties. I don't like that stuff. I don't like getting dirty. But if if
I
I'm
think
at
you
a
might get
party like
cleaned at a phone party.
yeah, I mean if it depends. I like people wearing like flip flops and trimming trunks and muscle shirt. I'm like no, but I think the parties I liked were because I like the both. I have to have both. I like that there's parties that are at least 30, 40 people hanging out. Everyone's having a good time, and
Yeah,
I don't know keg stands or whatever. When I was younger, that's how I used to do it. And then there's certain points where I would have like maybe 6 to 8 people, if maybe if not like 4 friends come over, and we'd play a drinking game, or we just hang out, or we would do something, and those were like fun times. I guess alcohol was involved all those times, but it was fun when it was just like a small crowd. It was a small group of us, just like not even like getting like blitz or wasted, just having a good time hanging out or learning wine, trying to find out like buying like 8 different wines and seeing which ones we like, just like stuff like that. We do like fake wine and cheese parties. I was like, got older, like, and that's one thing at the Bogey Logies thing. Like, is that the brie? Like, I never knew what brie was until I served the shit, and then what do you call it? When he said that, I just started laughing. I'm like high school kids. One thing I feel about 10 Things I Hate About You, you have a lot of. It's like you have a lot of characters that are like adults in high school.
yeah,
There's a lot of those. Where in Can't Hardly Wait, I feel like they already graduated, and this is like the first day, and they don't know what to do. You don't know what you're supposed to do, and they're trying to like figure it out. I mean, Kenny actually does what he does his goal. He gets laid. Like
yeah,
like he tried it. I mean, it came at like a weird thing, but even like their relationship in the restroom, it shows you growth in a relationship in just a short amount of time. I can go north and south real easy. All the guys every time freaking what's this name? I forgot the Ethan Embry character's name already. Preston. Every time Preston goes up to somebody and talk about Amanda, they're always like, "Yeah, what a banger," or something. Like it's like,
yeah.
"Yeah,
Every
dude,
single time.
time to get freaking." Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
thinking about asking her out. Like that's another thing, man. Like this is like a '90s thing, so there's a lot more old world thought
well, dude,
in time, and it's like, is this how it's supposed? I remember like hating that shit, like just like, oh, she's single now, you could go talk to her. Like I don't get
yeah,
it. It's weird because even the letter, the thing, the Can't Hardly Wait. It's more about the experiences I love more than the movie or the stories, because the story is kind of silly, right? This girl finds this letter, and then she falls in love with him after a breakup, and she's looking for a good guy because this is totally a '90s movie. Because like this
mhm.
that like are sweethearts around anymore? Like I'm a good guy, but I don't know if I'm a nice guy anymore. There's a difference.
Well, dude, I was just looking at the poster, and I was thinking, how funny would this be if this was a trilogy of movies? And it'd be Can't Hardly Wait, and then it's Waiting, and it's Still Waiting. You
Oh,
know?
like they would. Well, I would if you want to be artistic with it, yeah, you could be like something like Can't Hardly Wait and then Clerks, like it's like when
Yeah.
you go to work. Yeah, no, you're right. Like that would be kind of. Or I was just looking at this Can't Hardly Wait, or wait, because 10 Things I Hate About You, they're in high school, and then it's
Yeah.
like Can't Hardly Wait, they're out of it, and
Well,
then
and they're like more of kids and can't hardly wait because they're new to the world. You
well,
know?
Melissa Joan Hart is in this movie too.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking like, yeah, like Clarissa Explains It All's in this. I've had a conversation about Clarissa Explains It All. I watched that show. That was me, Sam, the best friend. He's like, go to the ladder. Like, hey, what's up? Like I was like, yeah, that's kind of the guy. Um, dude, it just the Selma Blair. Yeah, she's in. Like, there's a lot of,
Yep.
like I said, Jerry O'Connell. Who else? There's a lot of
Thank you, Jerry O'Connell.
yeah, Chip McNeely.
McNeely.
And I got it up to show. I was getting confused. What's his name? what's his name? Mike Dexter, Peter Facinelli. I was getting him confused with Kerr Smith. The movie I was talking about last time is this movie, Forsaken. This is a great vampire movie, but it's Kerr Smith from Final Destination. That's I want to clear that up. I got
Okay.
the I got him confused. For some reason, I got him confused. I thought it was like but you were right. He is in Twilight, so I
Yep.
will say that he is a vampire movie. So I get that is super confusing on last episodes. But yeah, like uh, this is kind of you're right. This is kind of like a clueless feeling. I didn't realize that Ken
Well,
Hurley
and you also
has a
have
clueless feeling.
Meyer and Donald Faison,
Yes.
and they're like in a band and stuff, and it just kind of has that feel of like, okay, this is 4 years later. This is when people are graduating. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily, it could have been a potential sequel to Clueless, and that's why you have these two guys in there, and it just turned into something else.
The progression of the band, I love that. I
Dude, right?
love
It's
watching
it's
it. Like
so funny, man.
in one night they go through the whole thing. They go through
About a
the loving
reunion,
each other.
guys.
Yeah, just get back together, and they never play a song. They never play a song, man. Um,
Right as they're about to, the cop's busted.
and he runs like, "I'm gonna wear a hat." No, wait, the guy they're all dressed different. He was wearing the bands. You don't love burger. Anybody order a love burger? Well done. Like that's hilarious that they put that in there. You don't wear the band of the you don't wear the band that you're
If he's
in.
wearing the shirt, I'm wearing the hat.
Yeah, I wear the hat. Like that's if I like those two like I don't know what they are. What those I do I dare say the word? Those white rapper guys or what are they like thugs or what are they trying to?
Right?
Are they
Oh, who knows, dude?
wigs? What do you call it?
Yeah.
Those guys are even like on the vinyl record player. They're like jamming out, like like and they even say "What's up?" and they like I like that scene. It's like there's a reality there, man. You
Yep.
can't be. They're in suburbs. You're in suburbia, and you're gonna think you can just walk around like that. That's so stupid. But it's so funny because there's a reality there. There's a lot of. I mean, rap music lives in the suburbs. Like that's where rap goes hard and they have suburb people that have beef with each other for their rap music that's not even in the area that they're from.
Yep.
So it's really hilarious for me to watch to like to watch this movie and then also like grow up and be like, oh damn, people are hardcore into it now. But the thing about those guys, they have like I don't know, man. Because even when they come out the bushes after they get chased, they're like, "Yeah, you're lucky. I'll bust my nine." Like it's so stupid, like talking shit when no one's around.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. Ah,
those guys would not be us in that movie. We would what do you call it? I don't know. Can't hardly wait. I think we would be definitely maybe Williams crew. We're the two guys on top. We'd be waiting. Not party. Those guys, because
don't they get taken up by aliens at
yeah,
like the very end? Yeah.
yes. They get sucked up. I like the ending too, the credit scene. I think if you had a line or if you had like a little scene in this movie, your picture came out and like the yearbook. But I was looking at the yearbook photos that they're putting in there, and also got me to think the yearbook scene is like Facebook. Oh yeah, because your face is in the book. Oh, duh. It's like so simple. Even when you watch the Social Network, he calls it Facebook, and I was like, I never got it because the colleges already they already called them Facebooks.
Yeah.
Colleges that was the name for that. But when I'm watching Can't Hardly Wait, like that's a big deal for me on the like just like following. I mean, I like the fact that you can see the personalities and then the two people that hey you remember and then
Yeah.
they end up at the end. "Oh, it's all about the memories, man. Like, I had the hugest boner. Like that's a funny see. Like I mean,
You remember that time that I was about to talk to that really beautiful girl?
no
Oh,
man no
no.
no funny because it just happened. Like
Oh man, that's messed up, man. I'm gonna remember this forever.
yeah, he's not gonna not gonna forget. That's kind of me. It's kind of me. I don't really forget.
uh, you know what's crazy about both these movies too is like, so I mean, whenever you end up showing these to Max, man, he's not. I mean, we're not gonna have payphones anymore or pagers.
Oh, the
That'll
pagers.
be
That
that'll
just
be a distant memory. And that's what's crazy is like in Can't Hardly Wait, he's over there calling Barry Manilow on a payphone. And this is 1998. It's pretty. It's crazy, man. That was just 20 years ago, and now nobody would be like if you showed this to a kid nowadays, it'd be like, who's that, and what's he? Why is he in the phone booth? Or they wouldn't even know what a phone booth was.
Dude, at the
It's
theater.
crazy.
Oh, I mean, at the theater they have a payphone there, but
Oh, really?
yeah, but they have a payphone, but it doesn't work. But it's also like, I don't know, it's nostalgia. I remember, I don't, I think it was 29, 20, no, 2009 or 2010 when I started doing. I should have kept going with it. I was taking photos with payphones and being like, "Is this thing work? Is this thing on?" I gotta find those photos. But I remember I was like always taking pictures with them, being like, "Do we really need these?" Like, but I mean, I used payphones all the time when I was a kid. Having the pager when the dad gets paged, I'm like, "Yeah, that's awesome." Like a pager, it's like it's bringing me back. But I think what I definitely I'm gonna show these to my son like when he's around that junior high
Yeah.
age, because honestly like in my I mean it's probably less now, but I think once your kid turns 12, it's basically they're influenced by their peers and people around them. That's just my opinion. I just what I've seen in my little brother and then me growing up as well. I think it's I think it's like you're kind of just their friend. You gotta I don't know, being a parent like I don't know, but what I'm trying to say is like I think these movies just they're from a different time. I don't know if high school's
Yeah.
still gonna be like this. It might be different. The geeks might be the jerks now, and they'll be all bullying. The I don't know. Maybe the jocks get smart. It's all different now.
Yeah. What was it? 21 Jump Street. It's with Jonah Hill, where he the first time around whenever he went to high school back in the 90s, he was a nerd, and then he was like a popular kid when in the 2010s.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It worked backwards, and it was the other
Yep.
way. And I'm Doug. It's like no, Doug is the cool one.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man.
that was a fun little twist. I think that movie's gonna age lot better than I had the when I watched it. I went to go watch it. I didn't see the second one, but I saw the first one,
Mhm.
and one of my friends was like, "No, you'll be surprised. Like, cool, good thing you went to go. You're gonna go watch it." I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna watch it today." He's like, "Yeah, you'll be surprised and you'll like it." I was like, "Cool." I was surprised. The what's his? I don't want to talk about that movie because it's not. We're not about it, but the scene. One thing I have been noticed about the younger generation, I guess the Zoomers or I don't know anybody in their like 19 to like 25, is they don't like to wait in lines and they're very impatient because the scene where the angel like has to use the call.
Uh-huh.
Use the phone. Like he's on the phone. Like why does she just like cut in front of him and it's not like like she just needs a phone. Like she just needs to
Yeah.
call a
I mean,
taxi.
she's not going anywhere. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know why she does that, but I have in real life. I've had like people cut in front of me while I'm like trying to pay, and they're like, "Excuse me, I see you have." I have like my kid with me too, and they're like, "I see you have like 10 things. I'm gonna just buy a pack of cigarettes." Or I'm like, "I don't have 10 things. Like, can I just cut in front? I'm just gonna cut in front of you." I'm like, they don't ask. Like, I'm just gonna cut in front of you, and I'm like, Well, I mean, I don't want to say like, no, my time's valuable too. I'm trying to get out of here. Just wait. And then but it's always the registered person's always like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll get her out here fast." I'm like, I don't. Okay, whatever, just go. But I'm like, I'm all worried because I'm all older now, and these younger kids, they take things too personal. They're gonna like flatten your tire and pull your car up for
Right.
something like that. So I did notice when I saw that, I was like, that's kind of rude. Like you're a stripper, okay? You chose that. Like I don't know. Like you kind of knew what's happening. It wasn't like you were like, I was a cocktail waitress, and all of a sudden they asked me to take my clothes off, but I was, but I felt wrong. No, it's like no, you're dressed like an angel stripper,
Yeah.
But is that supposed to be also like his guardian angel kind of? Is that what they're?
Yeah.
Is that
That's
what they're?
that's that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's like, because also the Scott Baio, and I think they do. Is it no? Because oh no, the Chachi. They say because Scott Baio is Joni loves Chachi, and then in the scene where the opening scene where Joey is talking to the teacher, he calls him Chachi. All right, shut up, Chachi. So I was like, oh, that name came out twice,
Yeah.
and
Oh
so
yeah.
so the name is a repeat of. But the whole thing. I mean, it's kind of a kind of a talking for a generation, and
hmm
the thing also there are a lot of like minorities in the background of Can't Hardly Wait, so it's not like it's a complete suburb party, like it's I mean, well, maybe it's a suburb minority, but I just thought to me that was pretty funny. I mean, the movies it's a great just enjoyable watch.
Yeah.
I do need to see like I need to ask my 19-year-old brother to watch this and see what he thinks because I don't know how high school is nowadays. I don't.
See if it rings true still. If it's
Yeah,
one of those timeless movies that will always be.
I mean, what is was it 16 Candles has its own like feel to it. This one has its own feel to it. But I mean, I guess like every 10 years or
Yeah.
I mean, there was you said earlier they had all those movies come out that were like not another teen movie with Chris Evans, and they did pick out all the like the main points in them. You know,
Oh, dude, that was a lot of that was Can't Hardly Wait. I mean, you had the Kenny character in that.
but even like that, like this kid's trying to fall in love. Like I guess what they're trying to say, can't hardly wait. Like just do it. Like don't wait for the last second. Like be what you got to be. That's a message I got from this movie. Like you
Don't
can
wait.
yeah. Yeah, don't wait. Just do what you got to do because before you know it's going to be over. And it's not just high school, I think in life, like things don't last forever. So things go by a lot quicker than you would think. And that's what I pick up a lot in this movie where I think a lot of the characters' interactions are just getting to see what someone else, because I can't really relate to anybody and can hardly wait, but I can like, other than the actual, I don't know, I guess at Preston I could really, but I mean, I didn't go to college and I wasn't like a nerd, but I was in like, a lot of clubs, so I kind of like did fall in love, and I did have that high school sweetheart. And I will say, I don't ever want to like badmouth anybody, like really. But my high school sweetheart, she was tough on me. But I was like, well, my parents weren't really like weren't there doing stuff like homework wise. So she was. So I was like, so I gotta give it to her. Like always like kind of like busting my balls on like, hey, get your shit done, get your homework done, do this. I was like, all right, cool. Or also she'd be like, oh, he's not gonna do that, but he'll go and like he's actually good at selling, so we'll put him in charge of the business club. I'd do like the promotions, I'd be the speaker or stuff like that. I'd go and like do all the handshaking stuff, and then but like it's like being in a relationship in high school. Then like because that's even another thing where you see Amanda moving on from Mike, and she's throwing away all the photos. It's like, well, that's all she's known. She wants to be her own individual. She wants to grow up and be her own thing. So you see growth there. You see a lot of growth in the characters. Even Denise giving Kenny a shot. I think I'm more for the Kenny guy because the baller, I guess. But I like him because he's trying really hard to be who he thinks he needs to be or what he wants to be, and it's coming off. He's doing a pretty good job. I mean, just like trying to get laid though. That's like there's always all those guys that just constantly like everyone's it's always on people's mind, but there's those guys that he went and got like a love wax candle or something like that. He has like condoms, and he's like practicing before he goes. Like he hasn't even had sex, so he's practicing like humping the air. And then like it's just like I don't know. That's just funny now to think about the like because that shot's funny where it's like it's shooting down and he's humping the air and you think he's like he's hovering over the sink and the like it's like how are you even gonna do that? There's I don't know. There's a lot of things that I really gravitate more with this movie, and I think it's just the fact that I think it is that one night thing. But I think we should, we're getting closer to moving on a little bit, leaning more towards the 10 Things I Hate About You. I didn't know it was on Disney Plus until I freaking looked it up, and I was about to rent it, and I go, wait, let me check real quick. Let's see other options.
Yeah.
And there it was Disney Plus. I was like, oh, it's a Disney movie. Or maybe Disney bought it, but I don't know. Donald Faison has a Superman tattoo on his arm. I didn't know that. It looks like it's real.
Let's see here.
The Love Burger, well done. Did oh man, that Take Me Down, that Guns N' Roses song. Oh, this I think the soundtrack for this movie is pretty good too. I think I owned it at one point. I think it's pretty good movie, pretty good music. Or also where the stars are or the was it the Earth's salt or something like that. the tripping out with the stoner chart with William. But he goes inside and he pushes that guy off the stage and does the air singing. That man, when I worked at Abercrombie and Fitch, I worked on the morning shift.
Dude, he's a repeat offender.
Who
that dude?
Guy? Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Nutty Professor. He was one of the students.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I was like, I know we've seen him before. I couldn't peg him. But even like when we would open up for Abercrombie and Fitch, we'd show up and we'd get there like at 6 a.m, sometimes 5, and set up the store. And my manager, like the 3 days a week, man, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, she would just play Guns N' Roses. That's it, dude. Like I have a hate for Guns N' Roses, but not because I hate them, because she overplayed them. Like I did that for like 3 months, man. It's like it's like 4 times, like 3 times a week, 4 times a month. That gets annoying, man. Like you have to learn, but then like I don't want to hear techno all day, but I'm like I don't know. I'd rather hear because I could block the words out and all, but the Guns N' Roses are very distinctive. It's like the same, and it's only the same album. So it's I'm like I'll have it a little too much. But I wanted to talk about this when William does the. I honestly think it would be I like the name William for the character, but Charlie kind of sounds like a better character. Oh, and there's also two flash scenes in both these these movies, like the backwards flash, like show the girl from the back
Oh
when she
yeah.
flashes up. So like, when he's doing the air singing, okay, that's one thing I don't understand about the younger generation. They go crazy for dudes like that do the air singing, the air guitar, and all that stuff. Why do you think? Is it just because they're getting attention, or because I think karaoke, at least you can, if you have pipes,
Oh
at least you can like show them off.
yeah. I don't know, man. Um, People just like it, I guess. I'm not too sure on that one.
Yeah,
Uh, because I
I,
mean, I wouldn't be like. I mean, maybe just the confidence. I don't know.
I don't know what
If
it is.
somebody did that on stage for me, like, yeah, you go, man. Like,
Yeah, dude. One time I went like when I got out of work, when I was working at the steakhouse downtown, they're like, "Hey, do you guys want to go have a drink?" And I was like, "Yeah, "Sure." I went and hung out for a little bit, but across the place we're at, there was like a venue, and it had like a stage. I see people playing guitars, and one time I was just looking at them, and I was like, "Are they just doing karaoke?" But I don't. I don't hear that's the actual song. How do you play the song with the words and the guy's on stage? And I started looking, and we went inside, and there I was like, that guy's they're literally lip syncing, and the girls are going crazy. I was looking at like a group of girls looking up at this guy lip syncing, and they were like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna sleep with him." I was like, "What the hell's going on?" Like
oh,
that's crazy.
I didn't know that was a thing. That's funny.
Yeah. They're like drooling, and I was like, I mean, the guy's attractive. I'll give it to him. He's a tall dude. You know, he looked like a rocker kind of guy. So even if he just was like, "Hey, what's up, ladies?" I could totally see that. But I was just kind of like the way they're just like, "Dude, look at this guy go at it." I was like, I don't get it. It's not. It's not. There's no. It's not. I'm like, we could have been doing this years ago. You know, it's like, but again, everybody has their own flavor, you know. But honestly, maybe the guy was like he was super good looking, so maybe that was it. But I'll say that that with a lot of that stuff, I was like, what the hell? They like that?
That's yeah. I've never heard anything like that. No, if you sing karaoke, use your own voice.
Well,
That's
but that's where I saw it because I've seen karaoke. I've seen some women when they get on there and they do their pipes, like, holy crap, she can scream. And then some guys, they have like good voices on karaoke, and then I've seen girls be like, oh my god, that guy sounds good. And they're like, and I've seen the girls like that. I'm like, yeah, that he's doing a really good, like Bohemian Rhapsody. And I was like, I always get on stage with that one. I'll get on stage and everyone's like, yeah, go for it. With that's back in the day, I mean, I had egos. If that when somebody did that song, you'd expect me to jump up, and I totally do it because I love that. I love doing that whole like, it's a great song. But we're at an hour and 2 minutes. Let's move on to focus. I mean, we're doing back and forth, but we'll focus a little bit more on 10 things I hate about you because
yeah,
I'm on the bathroom scene, and that's one thing I do love about these movies. They're easy to swallow. They're under they're around at 130, 90
yeah.
minutes, to 100 minutes. They're not gonna beat you up with the what do you call it, like you sit down and watch this movie. No, there's a point. This is like a boom, the beat's good, boom, 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 keep following. It's small little beats or quick little things. Like it, I think this movie's more like yeah, watch this once and keep watching when you can and pick up what you can. There's a lot to deal with, that's going on in this movie.
Yeah.
But I'm going to move on to 10 things I hate about you, because I will tell you this much, man. 10 things I hate about you is probably funnier, like overall.
Yeah.
I personally just prefer Can't Hardly Wait, and that's only because I'm maybe because it's my high school experience, or maybe I don't know what it is. I mean, because like I said, I don't know. Our high school is kind of, I want to say, lame, but it's just like anybody else's other high school, I'm assuming.
Yeah. No, I think Can't Hardly Wait was one of those movies that my dad rented on on the weekend. I remember watching that one. Uh, golly, and I was like 10, 9, 8, 9 years old whenever that came out. So I was watching it back then. So
That's kind of cool. Like I still trip out at that. Like I was
yeah,
at least a teenager, so I was like
yep,
I was kind of already dealing with that. I mean, I think the fact that they're showing alcohol use in both movies is something that they didn't over exaggerate. 10 things I hate about you. Got to give them props about the head concussion. Like
yeah,
that was a really good like lesson. That was a life lesson in that movie that I was like, holy crap, man! Like they really like kind of gave us an idea of what can happen. You know, like I
Mhm.
remember that was always a big thing, especially like when people get drunk and fight. I'd be like, hey, dude, you took a hit to the head. Like, chill. Like, stop fighting. Don't like, let your ego to the side, man. You could mess yourself up later. You know, it was stuff like that. Even if, like I'm playing it right now, and the intro to 10 Things I Hate About You is pretty cool too. This is a good movie, and then like I said, I like Iron How to Wait just a little bit more, not a whole lot more. Just if I had to pick, I could pick one, but I really do like. I mean, Larry Miller is great in this movie as a dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's always like
He's a repeat offender as well.
he's very repeat offender, and from our episode one,
Yep.
or episode two ish. But yeah, he's a nutty professor. Also, man, I gotta get this out the way. I think that song that I don't give a crap what you know, like
Oh, yeah.
it's overplayed, man. I think it was okay when this movie did it, but I don't know. I
Oh,
think
they even had it in Shrek. You remember that?
yeah. I
Yeah.
think there's the song. I mean, it's been in a lot of movies, and it's always to show like a girl's attitude or something. I'm like, I think that's why we have a lot of like attitude problems now. But that song, I was just kind of like, man, it comes out a lot, but yeah, it only comes out for a little bit. The introduction to everything is quick in 10 Things I Hate About You, when
Mhm.
the repeat offender David Comoltz is when he comes out as Michael. Was it X? Is his name? I love this. I think he's my favorite character in this movie.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's great in this movie. Um, just because just his mannerisms, like everything. Yeah, David Krumholtz.
Yeah, Michael
Uh
Ekman is the character he plays
Ekman.
because
Michael Ekman, yeah.
Ekman. Yeah, his name doesn't come out like only a few times. So I have to go and look it up. Like, what the hell is this guy's name? I keep following him. He says it right away, and then I think Patrick Verona, played by Heath Ledger, says his name, Michael. Um, but this cast too was a cast that kind of got older. Was growing up. I mean, Gabrielle Union's in it, and then you
Yeah.
have Joseph Gordon-Levitt. You have the David Krumholtz from, like, you know, Adam's Family. Larissa Olenek. Man, I think she's beautiful. She was
Who's
in
that? Bianca.
Alec Mack. Yeah, Bianca Stafford. Yeah, she was in Alex Mack. Julia Stiles is kind of the one. Julia Stiles and Heath Ledger both stick out in this movie as those characters. Like
Yeah.
they stick out. Like I don't know. It's weird. They're characters. I don't know. Heath Ledger was like perfect for this movie.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Like I was saying earlier. Like I feel like there's a lot of like adult kids in this movie. Like they're just going through high school, where like the Kate Stratford, I feel like the teacher kicks her out because she's the alpha, and if she stays in there, she's like way advanced. And if he keeps her in there, she's gonna, like, you know, it's gonna mess the other kids up. So he has to get rid of her. And
Dude. Yeah, whenever whenever she agrees with him at the end, he's like, get out.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like he
Also,
can't yeah, that whole teacher dynamic was hilarious to me. I thought it was great.
yeah, Mr. Morgan, played by Daryl Mitchell. Man, he's great in
Yeah,
this
and
movie.
isn't he's like wheelchair bound now.
Is he?
Yeah, I believe he was like in an accident. And he's in a wheelchair.
Dude, I think he played a character in a show or a movie where he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, let's see here.
Or maybe I don't
He
know.
was in Galaxy Quest, 10 Things I Hate About You.
I could have
Um,
sworn he was in something that he was like, oh, I didn't know that about him. I
I'm
think
pretty sure.
there was a character in his earlier career.
Yeah, paralyzed from the waist down in a motorcycle accident, November 2001. He has a spinal
Damn.
injury is complete. Yeah.
Maybe I did see him in a wheelchair because he is in a wheelchair after that.
Yep.
So
Because
here
he,
he
like I said, he was in Galaxy Quest, 10 Things I Hate About You,
no he's no,
Sergeant Bilko.
but even before that, even in the early '90s, he was in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like that. I mean, he was Cosby
House
Show,
Party.
House Party. Yeah, he wasn't. He looks dressed in fly in House Party. House Party 2. His name's Chill. He was in Boomerang, Fly By Night, Queen. Yeah. Here and Now, Fresh Prince. You know, Sergeant Bilko. Yeah, you're right. He's been a thin line between love and hate. And he plays Earl in that one. Never mind. But you know, he was, man. That's insane. So he did these movies, and then he got in that motorcycle accident. That's
Yep.
why I can't give into it, man. I've met too many people that were like older that were either writers for a long time or stopped writing because someone got in a motorcycle accident. Their brother, their mother, their sister, or their dad or something, a family member, or or that they had to change them. But it was like, yeah, and I'm like, well, how'd they get hit? And they're like, one guy, people just don't see him, or like like they see him too late, or they clip him. And I'm like, man, motorcycles are, I don't know, man. I never really got into them.
Yeah,
Mopeds,
me
I don't mind
neither.
riding a mopeds, but only in a small city. I don't like riding a moped in this city over here. I even think the scooter thing is dangerous. I've seen so many people eat it, and I'm talking about eat shit. And I fell the other day on my own, running at my speed. And every time I show people my scabs, and they're like, "Man, you must be running fast." I was like, "I kind of was, but it was downhill." So I think that was the hard part. I hit, and then I flew a little bit more. And then
Yeah.
I've seen people, because we have those. They have those white stumps, those little things that are like, it looks like a light, but it's just a little white stump that's concrete that's for cars to slow down. People don't
Mhm.
see those, and they just hit them, and all you hear is pop, and then just someone just falls, and there they are, just all dazed. And you know, honestly, back to the concussion in this movie, I honestly like that there was an awareness there of like there was like some kind of responsibility in the midst of drinking, in the midst of people. I mean, even the father, he's like, prom, that's where you get pregnant. Like, that was like their theory back then. Like, or maybe it was, or maybe it's a higher pregnancy test. But the I don't know. These movies, they served a purpose, but I think now they're just nostalgia. Do you think they just live in nostalgia, or do you think that you can watch them now and people can learn?
I think I think a little bit of both. I think it's very nostalgic for both of these movies. And then there are lessons in both of these movies as well. I mean, with Can't Hardly Wait, like you said, take a take advantage of the situations that are at hand. Don't wait. I mean, that's the whole thing with Preston. I mean, he at the very beginning, whenever he first met her, he hesitated for a second, lost out on an opportunity, or potentially lost out on an opportunity.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, like I said, 10 Things I Hate About You. Um, don't go on dates for money. That's prostitution. Uh,
He's a John.
yeah. So
He's
that's the real lesson from Ten
It's
Things I
such
Hate
a
About
good
You.
lesson to learn.
Yeah,
Don't.
is because it'll always backfire. I'm looking at this at the poster for 10 Things I Hate About You, and I don't think any of them were in the same picture. They just like photoshopped them into the
Yeah, they
same
pulled them out, put them
dude
in.
because it looks so awkward. Like David Krumholtz just like sticking his crotch out, and then so is Joseph Gordon-Levitt looks like he's pregnant.
Yeah,
Julia
and then
Stiles too.
look at Heath Ledger, the way he's just kind of there. Like
Yeah,
he looks like he's modeling. Julia Stiles
yeah,
looks like modeling.
exactly.
Um, you know the man, like the U points right at him, like he's the main problem here. He's the
Yeah,
issue.
exactly. And that's crazy too. And then I love how you have all the Shakespeare quotes around it, which I didn't realize. Like I thought I not that it was like a secret or anything like that, but I thought it was just like not known that this was based off of Taming of the Shrew. But seeing this poster, I'm like, oh, how wrong I was. They were they were definitely hitting off of that. I
The
mean, even in the IMDb, it says,
So
uh,
yeah, the Taming the Shrew. No, but you feel it, man. You feel this in this movie. Like I like it. Does
yeah,
feel like a theatrical play. Oh, I've been watching a lot, so I think that's what I'm picking up on. But the thing about the Heath Ledger Verona character,
yeah,
um, how long has he been hanging out at bars in the United States? Because he is from Australia, so I don't know how the drinking are like laws are over there. But with me, what do you call it? I hold on. Someone, can you talk real quick? Someone's
yeah.
calling me, and I think it might be. I don't know if it's an emergency or not, so I don't want to.
Yeah. So yeah, it is kind of odd how Patrick Verona is constantly going to these bars, has no problem getting drinks, or at least what looks to be drinks. I don't really know if he's just getting sodas or what. Um, but no, yeah, it's a solid question. There are a few things about this movie that just kind of jump around. Uh, you have Bogey Lowenstein's party, and that's where you kind of get the relationship started, and then you have that moment where you're like, oh no, I can't. I felt Cat goes and tries to kiss him, and then
All right, sorry about that.
then
Oh,
yeah. So no, I was
you.
just kind of talking through the movie, and just like from Bogey Lowenstein's party on, it just like it kind of jumps around, man. Like it's a back and forth with Cat and Patrick. Like it's just a lot goes on in a little bit of time, and you just kind of, and even in the end, man, like it seems to just kind of he gets her a guitar and then everything's fine.
Yeah, that's another
Like,
thing.
it
Yeah.
was just like she was very easy to forgive that. Maybe they had a conversation where he was like, yes, I did it for the money at first, and they just don't show that because it's so cliche kind of
Yeah.
thing. Because and they even hit on it a couple times in the movie, so that may be why that you don't have that conversation just blatantly out. But you can imagine that they've talked about this maybe and kind of worked through it a little bit. But it seemed like no, that can't be right because she has that poem and then goes out in the parking lot, and that's
I mean, also
right.
she's in high school. The thing is the yeah, and I think it's because the whole
So did he know he was about to just get his ass ripped open by that poem, or
no, I don't know. I think he was.
because I mean he already had the guitar.
I think it I think he was just hoping. I think the poem just came out. I know, like she shows how much she loves him. You know, she grew for him
Yeah,
too. There's a growth there. But I was trying to say, yeah. I mean,
sorry.
like she's the feminist, you know, and it's kind of crazy how she's like a very like predominant feminist. She's an alpha male or alpha male. Sorry, let me call her alpha male. She's an alpha, and she's she's strong. But it's like they really put that in there. But she's the only one of her kind. That's the other thing there. Where her sister, and it reminds me of my two little sisters, where they're kind of opposites,
Yeah,
and the younger one is kind of like Bianca, and the older one is kind of like what do you call
okay.
it, Cat, and so it is kind of funny. I see that with them, but they're they're younger. One's 15 and the other one's 8, so it's a little only 7 year difference. But I think what do you call it? I honestly think that the dynamic between the two sisters and it shows high school. It does show like because you do in Can't Hardly Wait. You don't get really a grade. You think everybody's a graduating senior, but in 10 Things I Hate About You, there's like a separation. There's a soft. There's talk about freshman year, and then
Yeah,
there's a junior. There's sophomores and stuff like that. So there's a separation there. But I always feel like where does this kid, this Verona kid, knows people like at the bar.
right.
Oh, and he goes to the Skunk, and they're like, what? The bartender knows him, and then
Hey,
he's like, it's a lesbian bar. What's up?
right. I'll be right back.
Cool, cool.
All right.
I'll tell you. Oh, I got some. So go for it. Go for it. No, I just think that's funny. Like, where is there? I guess an 18-year-old or 19-year-old in a bar in the United States that is just known and still goes to high school. I don't know why he still go to high school, and he's not exhausted. He drinks and smokes cigarettes, but he is from Australia. I don't know. There's people in Australia. I've only hung out with Australians here in the States. I haven't hung out with any Aussies outside of the country. So let's see where we got. It's kind of weird shooting at these hours too, because I'm getting a bunch of people reaching out to me right now, and it's early, but I think it's still too early to be reaching out to people. But I mean, sometimes you need to get a hold. But it's I think shooting these episodes at the butt crack of dawn, which I don't mind because I'm already awake. I think it's different energy. Night's a different energy, day's a different energy, and I think it's also the interaction of people around you. So just like in high school, the people around you are always going to be around you. So I mean, even if no matter how far you try to escape, you're growing up. It's gonna follow. Even on social media now, it's the same thing. You know, I feel like with social media, there's a blockage there where you don't really get to know somebody. It's more like, look what I want you to know about me. But in growing up, you actually spend time with people. You get to know each other, and that persona doesn't really hit. I see it as in with younger children now are mimic what they see. A lot of people give their kids iPads, and they just go on the internet, so they get to see they're seeing what they're doing and bringing it out into real life. And I think that was still the influence for us from back in the day. It was just a TV or a VCR or a DVD. So that was a form for us where it was more of a tangible hard, like a hard disk or a hard something you can hold. Where now it's just a software. Where it's just all just upload and download. And I think the fact that you having to go to the store and rent, and I think that it puts more time into your process of putting an effort into the new thing. I think that's the whole thing I'm trying to say is that these movies, like, I kind of can connect with them from my past because they're tied with things that were going on with me. Where I feel now, if it's hard for me to remember even birthdays because it's just I feel like it's Groundhog's Day all over it. I don't know. I don't want to complain, say anything, but I don't know if other people are going through this or if other people feel like I don't know. I lose track of time a lot, especially now where I run with like a 24-hour clock. I've been up since 3 this morning, and I didn't really get to go to bed the other night, so you know. Oh, you missed my good. You're gonna have to catch up on that. I was
What's
just
that?
saying you're gonna have to catch up on that. I kind of went on a little rant. I was just saying about like how social media, how nowadays how things are. There's a little bit there's easier with the upload download. There's no real. It's all software. There's no
Hmm.
real like tangible thing like when we were growing up. Like you can connect things with a DVD or a VHS or. But that's the influence then. And I just see nowadays where. You get to know people back then. Growing up, I think watching these movies is like an experience that we all kind of go through. You grow up together. You cannot not grow up, and that's coming from me. You don't have to get old, but you do have to grow up, and that just means being responsible. That's what I think. That's what I preach. But what I'll say is, or that's what I like to, that's what I like to say. But as in when it's going to with like like there's certain. I mean, I paused it here on my screen on the Can't Hardly Wait. And it's the Jason Segel. He's eating Oreos with the other guy that's like stoner. And I remember he was in other movies. The dude with the Silent Bob haircut.
Yeah.
I remember he was in other movies. I just can't remember off the top of my head, but I know he was in a. I got it. We got to do this. We got to do it proper. Let's see where he's at. I don't even know what his name would be. The names are funny and Can't Hardly Wait for a lot of the characters.
Yeah.
They do have some funny names. Well, the cousin Ron character too. We're second cousins through marriage. Like that was creepy.
You're right.
Like that move, but that's a move, man. I know guys do that move a lot. About the what you were saying when can't hardly wait when they go to Bogey Lowenstein's party and that girl tries to kiss him. He tries to kiss Verona and he's like no kiss him and the guy's like I really thank you. Like
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. When I saw that, I didn't know that was gonna be a thing that was gonna happen to me. I never thought about that. And it's like I mean, girls go up to a guy and kiss him, and it's supposed to be okay, but a guy can't go up to a girl and kiss her. It's like
Yeah.
it's a weird thing. But I mean, I'm happy when I saw that. I was like, yeah, that's kind of how it is. Like, and then when he doesn't kiss Kat in the car and she gets pissed off. I don't know if
Yeah.
have you ever not kissed a girl when she wanted to be kissed, or have you ever done that? Like,
Maybe. Quite possibly.
dude, they get
I just,
pissed.
but honestly, dude, like I would just been like, oh, there's something wrong. I'm very stupid when it comes to signals and signs and stuff like that.
Oh
Like
no, I'm talking about
I'm very illiterate. Like even obvious stuff
even
sometimes gets
even
past me.
when they try to like when they try to I mean that's when some girl I'm like dude you're like we used to go to a bar and I'd be drinking and they're like they'll be like I'm like you're kind of drunk. I don't really want to kiss. And they're like, "What the fuck you?" I was like, "Oh shit, damn!" They like
Yeah,
to drop the
no,
f bomb towards me. They like to really hit me hard with that fag. Like when I'm like, "Well, I don't want to kiss you." So I'm like, it's like what? Like I was like, I don't know you. I don't know. Like when I was younger, 19, 20, 21, it was fun. I was like, oh, look, and I got older. I was like, nah, I see you here a lot, and I see you kiss a lot of guys. I don't want to kiss you. Like it's like and then like they drop that they hit me with that FAG, man, they hit that. They throw that in my face. I'm like, okay, now I'm really not gonna do anything with you because you're crazy. It's like, well, I can't say that to them, but in my head, I'm like, stay away. That's insane. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know. That's that, but
yeah,
that's also at bars, so it's not like I'm like at like a store or something that's happening. But random stuff happens. And by the way, we do have a repeat offender. It was a Clea Duval
yeah.
from.
I was just looking at that too. I
Yeah,
think Brian Klugman
is that who that
is the
is?
guy.
Cool. That's
I think
stoner
that's who you're
guy.
looking for.
See,
Yeah,
stoner guy. He still kind of has the curls.
dude, he wrote Tron Legacy. That's crazy.
No way. I was about to bring that movie up. That's
Yeah,
insane. He's a writer?
yeah, I guess so.
Cool, man. That's
He has
awesome.
5 credits. Let's see here. Tron Legacy story, head case, baby, 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 and when gravity
Well, he
fails.
probably freaking banked on that Tron's Legacy. Dude, how much did Tron make? That thing, because dude, I was gonna bring that up because when Heath Ledger does that whole, it's gonna cost about $75. I was like, he's not lying, and that was back then when the $200 could get you a limo, it's like and all that stuff, like
Yeah.
that was like super, super. What do you call it? Super cheap, I guess. But I went to I remember I went to go. I took a date. I went to on a date to go watch Tron, and we called it a date, and what do you call it? I remember being like, oh, okay, how much do I use? Like $38. I was like, what? And like, yeah, it's $38. I was like, it's a 7 o'clock showing, and but it was in like the 3D or whatnot. But I remember being like, God
Mm,
damn, movies are expensive. Like, or dates. I
yep.
mean, when I go by myself in the matinee, it's under $20. But when you go with the date, it's pretty. pretty expensive. But check this out: budget was 170 million, box office 400 million. Yeah, there he is,
Wow.
man. Story by Edward. Is it Kitsis, Adam Horowitz, Brian Klugman, and Lee Sternloff. Dang,
Interesting.
he wrote the dude. That's cool. I bet you he banked, man. That's
Yeah.
what it was. That's what it was. That's a cool thing to just find out. But but seeing those, I'm already that threw me off with the Tron. That's pretty cool that this dude right here. Because I remember seeing him in other stuff. He came out in a movie where he gets his eyes. I think it's a Leprechaun movie. Is he in there? Let me see.
Let's see.
I think it's a Leprechaun movie where he gets. Oh no, I was watching Wishmaster. He's in Wishmaster,
Mm.
and he plays like a. He plays a. What do you call it? Like a nurse or a. It's got to be him. Wishmaster. Is he 2000 or 2001? It's got to be him. Maybe it's not him. I thought he was in Wishmaster. There's a guy that looks like him in Wishmaster who gets his eyes welded together because of a wish. Oh no, he's a medical student, 1997. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought Wishmaster was medical student. He gets his eyes sends it to him. You want a wish? I can make it happen. The character does it. It's pretty scary. But the thing I keep bringing up, I keep forgetting to talk about, but the Heath Ledger character, like which 19-year-old was like, or like 19? I mean, let's say he's 19 because he's a foreign exchange student. But like, let's say like, where is he allowed to go to a bar in the United States? And then not only do the bartenders know him, at the very end when the band shows up that she likes,
Called in a favor.
yeah, called in a fair. Like, what do you mean? How do you know them? Like,
Called in a favor.
how do you do, how do you do that?
I put another shrimp on the bar being called in a favor.
Crikey!
Crikey. That's how Heath Ledger sounds. I called in a favor.
The there he is, man. Bogey Lowenstein, played by Kyle Cease.
Dude, I love it. He's holding that pose, and then somebody says, "Run, Bogey!" Like,
Oh, that's right. He just holds it. I've shook in Gordon-Levitt's hand one time,
Oh wow.
and it was actually someone I used to hang out with did me dirty on that one, because it was during a South by Southwest event. I wasn't bartending that day, or maybe I was bartending later that night. But one of my friends was like, "Hey, let's meet up," and it's somebody I grew up with, so this was kind of annoying. But I was like, "Yeah, let's meet up." And like I'm getting downtown and we're texting. Like I'm walking downtown and we're texting each other. And he's like, "Hey, oh yeah, I'm over here now. Oh, sorry, I moved here. Now I'm here." I'm like, "Oh, don't worry, man. I'm it's like it's crowded. I'm dragging ass. Don't worry about it." And then all of a sudden he was like about to tell me where the latest location was, and then he went cold turkey, and I was like, okay. And I like called him. He screened my calls. I was like, what the hell's going on? I called him a lot, and I was like, I'm gonna be annoying. What the hell's going on? This guy always does shit like this. So I just like for 4 hours, dude. I walked around South by Southwest by myself for 4 hours, just like, all right, whatever, man. I don't care. I'm not gonna let it hold me down. So I just walked around and just went to like certain bars, watched certain things, and all of a sudden I end up in front of Manuel's. There's a restaurant on Congress. And Manuel's, and I get a call. I get a text message like, "Hey man, come to Manuel's," and I was like, "Well, I'm actually outside. What's kind of okay, whatever." And I come inside, and like I guess he was expecting me to like take a while to get there, but I was like literally right outside, and I walked in, and I saw him at the back, and I was like, "Oh shit, that looks like Jordan Gordon-Levitt," and he goes, "Joseph Gordon-Levitt," and he goes, and the guy I'm with, he's like, "Oh yeah, check it out, look who I've been hanging out with," and I was like, "Oh, that's why you fucking took me out because you didn't want me to hang out." Okay, that's weird. And I guess because when I stuck my hand out, I knew it was him. He goes, "I'm CJ," and he goes, "Hi, I'm Joe." So he introduced himself as Joe. So when he's hanging out with Joe, and I was like, dude, but it was kind of like it was a real dick move because I was like, dude, it doesn't. I like you didn't make any contacts or anything, and it's not like you were in any of his movies or your friends. Like you definitely hung me out to dry. So you could hang out with Joe and not me, or no, or you don't want me to. Yeah, I was like, but he was cool. Another thing was cool. And I was like, oh, we're the same height. I looked at him like we look like look each other right in the eyes, like, oh, we're the same height. Cool. it's like a weird thing when I see a celebrity and I'm like, hey, I see you on TV and then I see you on movies and we're the same height. But here we go. Let's move into. We have. I forgot who this character was. Andrew Keegan didn't know how to draw genitals. Oh, the guy that plays Joey for one of the scenes, and David Krumholtz had to teach. There's a dick on my face.
How do you not know how to do that?
Oh no, I guess he didn't know how to draw it like where it looks like that's the shot. Like he probably was drawing like real balls. Like not the circle with the lines. He was probably trying
Oh,
to draw like veins and stuff. You know what I mean? You gotta make it look. You gotta make it look like it. And so that's why we love good old David Krumholtz on the show,
a
man.
repeat offender if there ever was one.
We need a repeat. He needs a repeat and keep
He's
repeating.
a three-peat offender because he was the Santa Claus, Harold and Kumar, and then this.
Oh yeah, this is true.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a direct quote from Taming
but
of the Shrew. Yeah.
but that's true. He is, and you know what, man? He plays like that old, like I guess a Jewish guy because he's I guess a Jewish.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Jew because people might get mad. But then again, I'm a Spanish. I just say Jew because also you. But what do you call it? I think it's cool how he like because at the very end, did you see the outtakes of 10 Things I Hate About You?
No, I
He's
didn't. I don't think I watched it
He's
through.
like in all. He was almost all of them, man. If you keep going, he's almost in all of them, and he's silly. And then there's a part where they're kissing, where he's kissing that kissing scene, and then
Hmm.
they go down on the camera, like pan down, and they're out of frame, and then he comes out and he goes, "I'm gonna need a prophylactic." Because somebody hand me a but the way he says it, Cameron says, "I burn, I pen."
I
Uh,
pine.
sorry, no, I have all these things on. Oh, let me turn them off. I keep like when I'm talking, they pop off in my ear, and I keep getting notifications. That's what I was also saying while you were gone. I was like, the early mornings they don't bother me, but why do people want to hit like they're hitting me up this early? It's like all these pings keep going off. But Cameron says, "I burn, I pine, I perish," a direct quote from Taming of the Shrew. And then that's like, I mean, do you feel do they the 10 Things I Hate About You is the poem? Is when did they say the title of the movie? I never caught it.
Yeah, I think that's just the name of the poem, or yeah, it has to be. Let's see here. I don't know if it has it in trivia or anything like that.
Okay. So look at this one here. And this is actually look at this. Cameron James learns French in order to tutor Bianca. In real life, Joseph Gordon-Levitt speaks French fluently.
That's funny.
Um, Cameron James got a CJ. That I didn't even realize that would have been
Ooh.
us, huh? That would have you'd be Michael. I'd be CJ. Or
I
you
would
try
have
to
been Bogey
bogey.
Lowenstein.
Or you throw parties at your house.
Yeah.
That's bogey, man. That guy's like, that guy's a great person to just crap on, the rich dude. And then they're like talking stock or something, and he covers it up. And they said I shopped at a discount store. Those like, I mean, this is kind of like California, like the whole vanity bullshit. This is
Yeah.
definitely a freaking, but this is in Seattle or no Washington, right? The movie's in
Yeah, Seattle. Yeah.
Seattle,
At
right? So
least that's because it looks like there's the
the tower.
yeah,
Yeah, I will.
little
I guess
thin
I got look it up
needle.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Space Needle. That's what it is.
Heath Ledger beat out Josh Hartnett and Ashton Kutcher for the role of Patrick.
Oh,
Oh.
could you imagine Ashton Kutcher at that time?
Well, he would be like Kelso, wouldn't he? He'd be all
Yeah.
he'd be like you expect like a. I mean, he's actually a smart guy, but you expect like this jock, like dumb dude. I
Hmm.
I, I honestly think Heath Ledger was perfect for this role, man, because he has like he's like I don't know, is he from he's from Australia, right? So he also has
Heath
that.
Ledger. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, he does have that's an actual fact, but it's also it doesn't really it's not a big thing in the movie. They bring it up once, but he's like, where's the accent? From 10 years Australia. It's like, but he's like he does look older, as for the character, but he still fits like in high school. Even though the thing I love too about the book that he drills the hole in Cameron's book,
Hmm.
they still use it through the whole movie. It comes out
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 times. This was Heath Ledger's first American movie. That's
Interesting.
badass. That's badass.
Uh,
Yes.
the Heath Ledger improvised the moment where Patrick starts playing with fire.
Yeah, I was about to put that one up. Look at that. So he just stuck his hand in the fire.
Yeah.
Look at that method actor. I like his. Who's his buddy? That is because he gets it. He's
Right?
always
I don't know, man.
I don't know how would we find him. There's a guy named Greg Jackson. It's Scurvy. That's got to be him, right?
Yeah, that has to be it.
Scurvy. Let's see. Oh, dude, Lady Peacock, 2014, and Affirmative Action, 2010. Curiosity Killed the Cat, 2012. So who is? See, he's got any. He doesn't have any photos on his thing, so I think that might be him. That might be Scurvy, the guy with the crazy mohawk, and he just doesn't want to get, I guess, hurt either. Yeah, Allison Janney, man, she's freaking amazing in this
Oh,
movie.
dude, she's hilarious in this movie.
I like that he works on it. It was a bratwurst, and she goes, And she goes, she wrote in her book, like she writes it in her book. But she's
Yes.
honest though. She's like, I got my book, I gotta write. That's pretty cool. Here it says more like I didn't even realize this at the bottom of the IMDb. It says more like this: Clueless, Mean Girls, Easy A, The Perks of
Yep.
Being a Wildflower, a Flower. What else does it have? The Notebook, Legally Blonde, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and 13 Going on 30. And then the Devil World Prada, The Breakfast Club, 10
That's
Things I Hate.
crazy how all those movies are, you know, very similar.
Very, very similar. I was gonna say so. Clueless, man, it's another rich kid, lawyer. That's a lawyer, but I mean, we need
Dude,
these
and it's
movies.
so weird, like the dynamic, like what was it, Paul Rudd's in college and she's
Yeah,
like 15.
yeah, we talked about that. What?
Yeah, man. It's just strange.
But
Like
she
you don't see it whenever you're watching. You're like, oh, that makes sense.
like the crazy thing is Stacey Dash. She's on the cover, and Brittany Murphy and Lisa Silverstone. She's 27 or 28 in this movie, and they're all like,
Really?
yeah, they're all like 16 to 18, I think. So I'm like, they're young, or maybe not 16, 18. They're like 18 to 20. But she's a 27. I'm like, damn, she really like she ages well. And she still looks great now,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, man, that's a big age gap for like I guess I don't know movies. As long as you get them, you get them. But like that's Clueless, and then you have Mean Girls. So it's like you have rich kids, and then you have what do you call it, Mean Girls, where it's like the high school experience of told through like the prissy biatches, I guess. And then you have ECA, which is movie about girl being called I guess like a slut or that's what that is. And I think The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I don't remember. I remember I drank when I watched this movie, so I don't remember it very well. So I got to rewatch it. But I think I saw it like a date or something. That movie, it's about being coming out being gay or something, right?
Maybe I haven't seen it
You haven't
either.
seen it? I think it's something. I don't know. We got words right in front of me. Might as well. But I think it's kind of showing you the dynamics. But it also shows you like I guess with those four movies are kind of the an introvert freshman is taken under the wings of two seniors who welcome him to the real world. Oh, maybe it's just a coming of time movie. 2012. Yeah, I was on a date on that one, and Alamo Draft House, and I think we were drinking. I can't remember it. I remember the date. I don't remember the. Oh, dude, they're bringing back Jackass again. These guys are they trying to commit suicide?
When are they doing that?
I just saw. I'm on IMDb and it just popped up right now. It said Jackass Forever. It's trailer. Jackasses Assemble. These
Nice.
guys, dude. They're like YouTube
I
videos.
want
I
to
don't want to
watch
get
it.
off. I don't want to get off subject. I am gonna watch it too, but I don't want to get off subject. But they have these videos of the guys on Jackass talking about all their injuries and they're messed up.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't like friends like that. If you did something to me, I hit you right back to let you know. Like I was like, I ain't playing, man. Like don't be doing those prank shit, dude. I hit you right in the face or something. I was like, nah, dude, don't mess with me like that. But that was back then. Now I'll just prank you by just deleting you off my social media. That's like just get you. I don't know. It's like pranks are different now, man. I just it seems kind of weird how you can talk about someone behind their back and in real life, but you have to meet up. And now you can talk about someone behind their back on the internet and plan stuff behind imagine William with the internet, like with everybody. He probably has the internet, but everybody else having to access the internet so he can control people with all his money. But let's see, I went too far. 10 things I hate about you is man, the more you talk about, I think they're probably equals to me. Like I don't really. My score's gonna be the same for both of them. It has two wins and 13 nominations. It has Chicago Film Critics Association Award, a winner, and it won MTV Movie and TV Awards winner, MTV Movie Award, Breakthrough Female Performance, Julia Stiles. Yeah, I mean, she does. I mean, it's I guess for the time. If you want to, I mean, what is she? She's kind of spoiled. She's a B because she does
Julia
like.
Child or Julia Childs, Julia Stiles. Is she? You're asking if she's spoiled?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
she's
She definitely
spoiled,
is.
and she's getting a breakthrough performance for that. But it doesn't matter. It's the performance how it comes off, And
Yeah,
but yeah, from MTV as well. So, um, yeah, I think. I mean, come on. She's kind of wants to go to that's art school, or is that what it is, or what is it like?
yeah.
Like art.
Was it Sarah Lawrence or
Yeah,
something?
Sarah and Lawrence.
Yeah.
So I guess it's an art school, or like where she can learn stuff. And then her dad just sent a check. It's like just paid
Yeah.
for. Like okay, that happens, so I don't know. I mean, she's a feminist, so I don't really know too many of these days. I mean, I know people online, but what I'm trying to say is that you see the way she's kind of progressing through her life, and it's just like one thing that affected her when she was a freshman, and she held on to it for 3 years, and everybody knows like, oh, I think I'm scary, which I thought was kind of cool when you get to see her perspective, what she thinks about what she's heard of herself,
Yeah.
because she knows who she is. It's the other people that don't. And then the Heath Ledger
Yeah,
character,
and then they both go back and forth with what's true and what's not.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was saying like, and Heath Ledger character Patrick is like very, very he's just who he is. I mean, I think he's just waiting, to get out of high school. He doesn't care if he's there or not. He's like whatever. Like, it's like a hangout spot for him. Kind of like how I treated it. Um, you know, I kind of I was just let's see. Well, Andrew Keegan was also in Camp Nowhere. I know that much.
Yeah. Dude, so Gabrielle Union, I think, was like 27 whenever she was on 10 Things I Hate About You.
No way, really?
Yeah, she was born in 72, right? So that would, and it was 99.
Yeah.
She was also in She's All That,
And when was She's All Dead is in 2001?
99 as
99
well.
as well? Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so she was
There's a lot of those movies coming out around that time.
yeah.
Her first appearance was 1993, Family Matters, Mall Girl, and then she's in Moesha in 2006.
Damn, so she's got a lot. She's got a heavy, what do you call it?
Let's see here.
Like
She's been in
early in the 90s. Does she have anything in the 80s?
no, nothing in the 80s. First credit was 93. She has 87 credits though. Game or not Game of Thrones. Bring It On.
Yeah.
There's something that she did later on that I was looking at. It was called Gay of Thrones. So that's why I thought of Game of Thrones. She was also in Bad Boys 2. Let's see, she's in the newest one. I think so.
Yeah, she was a Bad Boys too, because she plays Martin Lawrence's little sister
Oh,
or
okay.
younger sister, whatever. At this point, she's probably already like 35.
Yeah, dude. Like she ages very well.
Yeah. Let's see. So where were we at on time? Let's see. All right, we got a little bit more time. We'll keep chatting about this. But yeah, I was saying about that guy Andrew Keegan. He's in Independence Day. And
Yeah.
he was in Camp Nowhere. That's the main thing I remember him. But when he was in 10 Things I Hate About You, I remember it was a big deal. Like, oh, that guy's in it. Like, oh, and now he's an adult now. He's getting older. It's like, oh, look at him. Like he's like that's one thing I remember they liked about movies from those times, where it showed someone
Dude.
when they were like a teenager and then showed them as an adult or like a young adult.
And we're gonna have to look him up, dude, because I think he's like a cult leader or something.
Oh, this guy's part of a cult?
I think so.
Like the same thing?
I may be thinking of somebody else, but I'm pretty sure it was him.
Well, now that you brought it up, we gotta debunk it or bunk it or see what's going on.
Yeah, see if I'm thinking of the wrong person. I'm sorry, I don't mean to slander your name, sir. If that is not you.
Well, let's find out. Let's see. I'll just put, but it has. Oh, because never mind. I thought it was part of his last name. That's kind of messed up. I put Andrew Keegan, and the next thing it says Young. I'm like, well, no. I just I just want to know who he is. All right, let's see. Well, while I do this, maybe I don't know, dude. I guess I have to put Colt in here if he's in a cult or not. On the Google search. Because now we gotta take a little break. We got a little extra time to do that.
Yeah.
Founded Full Circle, a community. In 2014, Keegan founded Full Circle, a community spiritual center based in Venice, Los Angeles. Vice characterized the organization as a new religion, while other outlets called it a cult. Oh, so something like that. Full Circle. It's a community, a spiritual center based. So would that be like Scientology would be like that too, or no?
Guessing so, but I mean, sorry, that was a little bit of what I said was not entirely too true.
Oh, I mean,
But
it's not. But I mean, it's all based off people's opinions. So I
Yeah.
mean, you can't. I don't know what to call a cult. I mean, to me, church would be a cult, but also it's church. It's like I'm not gonna put it down, because people want to go do that, go for it. But I don't think, I don't know what goes on.
Okay, the organization closed in June 2017. So it was yeah.
So he got in trouble or something? Did he get
Yeah, in May 2015, Full Circle Temple was raided by the California Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control officers. The raid was apparently related to Full Circle's distribution of kombucha, a fermented beverage made from sweet black tea. That's interesting that they'd raid for that. I guess it could
Leo
potentially make
kombucha.
somebody. Yeah, a spokesperson for the Temple stated they were unaware they needed a license to distribute kombucha,
Oh, because yeah, because
and
it
that's really all it says on Wikipedia.
yeah, here it says on the cut March 14th, 2017. The title is Andrew Keegan's cult will live to see another day. So I guess he's
Okay, so somebody else called it a cult too. Sweet.
yeah. I mean, like I said, like cults are
Oh, he was
through
engaged to Leanne Rhymes.
dude.
Dang.
Ryan Reynolds was engaged to oh my gosh Dogma. She played the God in Dogma. Oh my god, that's more set. There we
Oh,
go.
really?
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
was also engaged to
Scarlett Joe.
somebody. Yeah, Scarlett
Oh, I think they got
Johansson.
married. I think they got
Oh,
divorced.
did they?
And
Yeah,
they
because
went
they
back
said
right in.
they were going to keep them away from each other in the MCU.
Well, Black
What?
Widow's dead, so
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
know.
saying. But she can still come back.
You think they're gonna bring Tony back?
Nah, maybe no, dude.
The
No, I saw that he like took everybody off of his like he quit following everybody that was in the Avengers on Twitter or Instagram or something like that. I
yeah,
don't know. I don't know how much or what that means, but
yeah. Ah, okay. Well, no, I don't keep up with a lot of that, but I like being
I
informed once in a
just
while. Once in a while,
yeah,
it's good to know, you know.
it was clickbait on Facebook. So
So let's see who else. There's, I mean, the list goes on in both these movies. Where a lot of the actors and actresses
yeah,
went to do something else. The let's see, the guy's name I butchered earlier, Gil Jungner, because there's a he was like, ah yes, look at this. Began his career in Hollywood, but by attending the University of Texas at Austin Radio, TV, and Film School, the RTF program. Everybody always talks about the RTF program. Back then, even ACC, we had the RTF program, which you know gets you started, get going on these. Known for top four: 10 Things I Hate About You, Black Knight, Think Like a Dog, Ellen. So he's been busy. There's a scene that the you gotta watch. I don't want to ruin it for you, but you gotta watch the ending of the 10 Things I Hate About You, where it shows the cutouts. I mean the bloopers. Dude, this dude's busy, man. He's got a lot of stuff. What does he have for
who
direct?
who who is that?
69 credits. The director, Gil Junger. Junger.
Maybe
J-
younger.
It's a Junger.
Let's see here.
Like I said, I'm running on like fumes, and I got like 2 meetings today. I'm gonna be like this all day. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
I wish I could have got you some coffee too, man.
Oh, I don't
Dude,
need coffee, man.
Bogey Lowenstein does not have a lot of credits. He was in 10 Things I Hate About You, not another teen movie. That's
Big
that's,
Lewis
that's
is.
really it.
What is the season? 2009. Blake Lewis is shitting in my bathroom. An entire house party is excited to learn that American Idol's Blake Lewis is pooping in the comedian Kyle Cease's bathroom. Oh, he's a comedian.
Huh.
It's bad. He kills it though, man. We're gonna
Dude, have you looked at his picture on IMDb?
yeah, with the
Look at that
phone.
phone. Oh my god, dude. This picture had to have been like almost 20 years ago, if
What do
not
you
more.
What do you mean? You don't think you can find a phone outside, an old one, and take a picture with it?
No. No, all those things are dead and gone.
They're gone.
They're
You
gone.
know, someone
This
told
is
me
an old ass picture. I know it is. There's no way he looks like this recently.
Oh no, I know, but I'm just saying like the phone. He could pick up the phone, like right. I could take a flip. I have a flip phone right here. I could take a photo with it. Yeah, so he's a
Yeah,
stand-up
but you can't be
comedian.
that excited and that young in it.
I get what you're saying. He's a comedian. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's interesting.
Yeah, we got to give him some props there. That's
There
awesome.
you go.
Dig a little. We don't have to dig too much. Just dig a little bit on the surface, and you'll find something. I'm wondering if since I keep clicking back and forth from Streamyard, if it's gonna mess up in the editing. But we'll find out on
We'll
the
find
streaming.
out. Yeah.
We'll find out. But let's see. Well, we're cutting it down. We could probably talk a little bit more about. Well, we gotta rate them. Well, never mind.
Yeah.
We still we're not even
Let's rate
done.
'em.
We're not even done yet, bro. All right, so we're gonna go with Can't Hardly Wait. Let's see what we have here. I mean, we're missing a lot of people. There's a lot of people in this movie that we haven't even like touched. The like Sean Patrick Thomas is in it, and then
Yeah.
Freddie Rodriguez. You have who is we have? We have a lot
That
of
guy you
people.
think is Josh Duhamel
Yeah, that
or
yeah.
or Timothy Oliphant. He's
Yes,
like a mixture of the two. If they were younger? Um,
yeah, he does look like him. He does. He does.
yeah.
All right, IMDb rating out of 47,000 votes or stars, we have a 6.5 out of 10.
For Can't Hardly Wait.
Yep, 6.5.
Give me 1 second. I'm about to get the.
Ooh, I'm already here.
Uh-oh. All right.
Excuse me.
Let's see here. Boy, what a time. Can't Hardly Wait. You know, whenever these movies came out, you couldn't look up information this fast. Let's appreciate that for a moment. Well, it takes me a minute to look it
Imagine
up.
if we would have did this. Okay, so we would have done this 20 years ago. We would just need cameras and a bunch of books
Wayne's
and
World,
magazines.
Wayne's World.
So we'd have to actually read everything, pull out the articles, write them down. Oh man,
Yep.
it would be. I would be more. It's more fun that way, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the sitting down and picking and pulling is kind of.
Yeah, right. It would have
I
been a
mean,
full
we're
time.
I'm literally doing it on air. You can hear me clicking and going through it. It's kind of like, yeah. But if I
Mhm.
had magazines here to have to go through, I definitely would take my time ahead of time. I mean, I could do that now, but magazines, I would suck for you. You would not want to watch, and I'd waste so much like videotape of me just kind of looking for it. And I think it was in this article, but with the streaming, like it's so quick. You're right. We're just able to like.
Yeah.
It makes it look seamless. It makes it look like there's no effort, but there's a lot of effort in this.
Dude,
Are you there yet?
this can't hardly wait. Rotten Tomatoes poster makes Jennifer Love Hewitt's neck
Oh
look
yeah,
so long.
it does.
It
Let
looks
me
like
see
she's
it.
a giraffe, man.
Is it? Are they all like
And it
that?
like superimposes her boobs too.
Or I
That's
know that.
crazy.
Is it like that? I seen that. I have the movie box with that on it. I think that's the one I have.
Dude, is it maybe it's just a what maybe it's because it's
No,
a
dude,
small
it's I think it's like that on all of them. There's another one here.
dude, that's a terrible picture of her. That makes it look horrible.
I didn't realize that.
No
Hey, she's still
way.
beautiful. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jennifer Love Hewitt. That's really
They
I
did you
feel like they
wrong.
they did you bad in that one.
They did Photoshop
They
that.
they moved your head all the way up there.
That's messed up. There you
Oh
go.
my gosh.
I
That's
would have been,
crazy. So
dude.
can't hardly wait. It has a 41% on the tomato meter with 63 reviews. And then the audience scores a 63% out of 50,000 plus ratings. So that's about right. I mean, this is a teen movie. Like that's expected. Like if we're being real, that's I feel like that's not too far off. What do you think?
No, they're off. But also I got nostalgia factor on me a lot.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this much: if you watch this movie now, those scores are fine. I'm okay with that. If you're my age, maybe a little. I'm also thinking like when these movies came out and people just got out of high school, like the class of like '98 or '99 or '97. I wonder if they're laughing and they're just we're not like that, or they're like, oh shit, is like that, or I don't know, because I remember I didn't hit high school yet. I was still in junior high, and in my junior high, like they are sixth grade, like we're together first through fifth, and like sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, we're completely like the old high schools, and then freshman year, we're not even into high school. We have our own campus, which is adjacent to the high school, so we were kind of on our own. And they always say that we always kind of grew up with like a little independence because of that. But I mean, it's, as a group, I don't know how you can be independent as a group, but but watching this and as a as a kid and growing into it, like I love this movie. Watching it the other day, owning it now, I'm happy. I don't know, like if someone my age, like I would have to have a conversation with them about it. Because even with you, it was kind of, I don't know if it prepared you, because if I saw Animal House when I was younger, but I didn't think college was gonna be exactly like that. But you know, I mean, like Trip McNeely says, I thought it was gonna be a 24/7 orgy. Chicks are into like, it's like it is like, and that's why I
Yeah.
had a girlfriend. I didn't really have a girlfriend in my 20s, man, because like it was just I did kind of want to talk about that, like dating like from high school to like college chicks, or just girls or females, whatever you want to call them, label them. But like they like I was the part where I was like 21, where I was like, dude, I can't date young girls. It's so hard. I started dating like 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, like
Yeah.
I was just like, I can't do this right now. When I turned like 25, 27, it got easier. I was like, all right, this is cool. I can do it now. But But I remember when I was my age, I was like 21-year-olds, where I was like hanging out with when I was 21, hanging out with 21-year-olds. I was like, just hang out with older people. Like I like hanging out. I was dating like 35-year-old, 37-year-olds, and a 43-year-old. You know, it's like, but it turns into that they're like, I was always kind of like that arm candy thing, just to get the guy that's their age. Like, hey, look, I can get a younger guy, and he's Latin and whatever, you know. And it's like I was always like, I'd always meet these guys. I was like always like, 15 years younger than, and I was like, God damn, I don't really, why do I always got, why do you always meet these places where their exes are at? It's like, I never picked up on this shit, dude. Like why do I meet all these exes? Why can't we go? Is it because the venues there's not that many? I was like, no, because they wanted to show like, look, I can get a younger guy. And it's like, I can do it. But they were all successful, so that was really cool. Yeah, but you want me to rate it? Yeah, let me rate it.
Go for it.
I did say earlier, and this is easy. It's a 13 for me. It's a great time. It's fun. It's a like, my high school wasn't like this, but this does remind me of high school parties. So it does remind me of when I watched it. I remember watching it in the theater. I thought it was a great movie. It's a 13 for me. I think, but honestly, like I said, I think it's a complete.
Can't hardly wait as a 13 for you.
Yeah, I think it's a 13
Okay.
for me. And I honestly think it's because it has that nostalgia factor on me. The scores, like I said, with the 41 and 63, I think 41 might be a little too harsh, but I think it's a dated movie. It's like if you watch something from the 50s and you didn't get it because it was in black and white or something. Because I think maybe something like that. But I want to hear what you got. What are you thinking?
It's gonna be a solid 10 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend seeing this movie. Um, but yeah, I mean, it has a nostalgia factor, but I don't know, man. It was one of those that it didn't, like, whenever I was younger, it caught my attention and I enjoyed it, but I don't know, man. I don't know how to explain it.
Do you think? I mean, I think two things I take from these movies, that there are comedies, but they're romance, so
Yeah.
love stories. The nice guy. Do you think nice guys are around anymore? Do you think like the good guys are? I mean, the good guys obviously they're there, but do you think like a nice guy like that, like a Cameron learning French, or like a
Yeah.
freaking Preston,
Yeah.
like to get, because I used to be like that when I was younger, dude. When I was a boy, dude, I would like constantly like flower my girlfriend with gifts. Like I didn't really do it to like show off. I just did it because I cared for her, and I would do things, sing for her, and then watching these movies, like that was easy because I was like, hey, this is what that guy did in that movie. Do singing in class for her and do stuff like that. Teachers would let me do it. Let me do performance. I was always like that, but it's kind of like there was a reality there that was cute in like junior high, but when we got to high school, it turned into freaking drinking beer and having sex, and I wasn't doing any of those. I totally missed that boat. But like I don't know, I was in my own little world. I guess and then just kind of like as I'm watching these, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like they remind me of those times, but it wasn't. They're not all like bad times, but there's not all good times. But it's just it was a time of growing up, and I think I was just wondering if there's a nice guy out there, if nice guys actually do exist, like if they're, because now I'm like, I'm a man now. I'm like, I'm a man. Can't talk to me like that anymore. I'm a little sensitive, but I don't care. But let's move on. 10 things I hate about you. So the IMDb score for the 10 things I hate about you, it has out of 309K, so that's 396,000. It has a 7.3 stars. That's that's higher than the 6.5 that the other one had.
Yeah.
So I'm going with another 13 on this one. And you made it even a hard 13 for me now.
Yeah.
Because after talking about it, because I do like the Shakespearean way they told this story. I like all the characters are in it. I love all the characters are on the cover. This is a classic movie. This one, even though it's more into high school, this is more about the high school experience because you have more days, where the other one's a party.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
This is a clear 13 for me, man. I love this movie. Heath Ledger's amazing in this movie. Not only is he's a repeat offender, but I mean he does a great job of just like, like being just fluid in this movie, very natural. Like it's just like I can see him as being that guy, as Patrick. And yeah, what do you got?
So Rotten Tomatoes on 10 Things I Hate About You is going to be 69% out of 78 reviews, which fair, fair. Like I said, I don't expect romance teen movies to be getting really high, crazy high
Yeah.
scores. And then the audience score out of 250 100,000 plus ratings is also going to be a 69%. So two
Yeah.
69s for 10 things I hate about you. Congratulations. You got the perfect score, guys. Um, no, it's I think this is going to be a 13 for me as well. I was thinking about scoring a little bit lower, but I mean, honestly, man, this one you could put on in the background and it can always kind of catch your attention, you know. It's a solid one, man. So
Yeah.
13 for me.
Damn, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. I like that you can follow it. I like that it's clever. I like that it's modernized Shakespeare. You can actually do this
Yep.
again. You can do this right now and see how it. Like I mean I think teen movies are great. They this one's a little different because granted there are no
It's
minorities.
like they're adults, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and but
you know,
they're you can see those personalities. From Mike Dexter all the way to freaking Cameron. It's like you get these they're not similar, but they're you could see how they could cross over.
yeah.
Imagine Michael Ekman and freaking Can't Hardly Wait. Like, would he exist in there? Where was Can't Hardly Wait? California, right? Is that where they shot it? I
I
mean,
think so.
where the stories like kind of told?
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken.
Boom. All right. Oh yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. I think. Yeah. Okay. Let's see them though. Let's see. Okay. So this is why I think maybe they need to make. Well, I think they do make teen movies. We just there's not
yeah.
like this anymore. Like not another teen movie
We're
was
just they're
hilarious.
not marketing to us.
Yeah. We're not. Yeah. We're not teens anymore. um. So 10 million to 13 million was the budget. Box office. What do you think?
For Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, box office and what was the how much?
10 to 13.
I'm gonna say 45.
25.6. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was in my head before I hit it. I was like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like a 15, but it's not. Let's see. 10 things that I hate about you. I haven't looked at it. I'm gonna at least say 80 million. I'm gonna say 80 million.
I'm gonna say probably 60.
All right, let's see. Oh yeah, 30 million budget. Box office 60.4. You're right. You got it around the money.
Yeah.
And look at this release March 31st, 1999. So it was 2 days after my birthday. So we were watching this because I will say that I think that that cry. I mean that scene at the end where she does the poem. I think I did cry when I watched it back in the day. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think I did. I did have a
Because
little
I
tear.
was, yeah, I had to have been 8 years old, 9 years old whenever this one came out too. I don't even know, man.
Yeah, I think with this movie, I think the
Well,
fact that I
okay, I would have seen this later in '99 because I didn't watch it until it came out on pay per view, so I might not even seen it till 2000.
in the 2000 a 90s movie in 2000, it feels the same though. I wouldn't think it
Yeah,
would.
I don't know. It was exactly the same.
Um, yeah, no, I really like the about 10 things I hate about you. I think it's time to make another version of it. I don't know, but it's like nowadays with everybody, the bratty thing might come out. I feel like a lot of movies now that we're younger, there's a bratty sense to it. Because I didn't realize that the Kate character was kind of spoiled until after we started talking about it. And I realized because the guitar scene, you got me with that. You're right. She's like you just get a guitar. Like you have to give her things. Like she'll talk to
And
you.
everything's fine. Like you can't just buy me something every time I miss. Oh, there's this. You know,
Well,
it's a clever line. It's a very clever line. Like more power to him. That's a good one. But
but
I mean, just to be like, here's something. I messed up. Here you go. Like no.
yeah, but also because her dad's a doctor, a gynecologist, or I think yeah, he's a deliveries, or he's a whatever. He delivers babies, and that's what's traumatizing him, and that's why I think the Larry Miller character works out
I
perfect.
love that scene with Heath Ledger's like, who knocked up your sister?
Who knocked up your sister? She's wearing
Yeah,
wearing. Ah man, that. Do you think that would work? Like, do you think that would like you know
yeah.
for
I
like
mean,
or like
it.
put. I mean, you could do that
I
with me. You could do that with guys, right? You put on this beer belly thing, and see if you want to keep drinking and getting a beer belly. Drink this how it's gonna be. Like that'd be kind of
yeah.
a thing. I don't know because when I have a beer belly,
It's,
I don't really. I just feel sluggish, but I don't really feel like.
yeah.
I don't know, but I like that scene. So, do we want to let everyone know where we kind of predetermined where we're going because we kind of fell back a little bit, or should we just do you want to organically look this up, or do you want to go where we said we are gonna go?
Let's go over. Say we're gonna go. Let's
It's already
let's
in the
not
yeah.
dance. Yeah, it's
So
already.
It's already there. So we're gonna do. We're not. It's not gonna dance around it. Because we're gonna shoot it soon, like in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um, so we're doing Space Jam. So we're definitely jumping. We're going Space Jams. We're jumping a little as Jason left, but we have to because I'm gonna talk about this. So we have Space Jam 1996 PG 1 hour 28 minutes. And despite I'm sorry, in a desperate attempt to win a basketball match and earn their freedom, the Looney Tunes seek the aid of retired basketball champion Michael Jordan. Director Joe Pitka, writers Leo Benvenuti and Steve Rudnick. Timothy Harris stars Michael Jordan, Wayne Knight, Teresa Randall. And we're going to compare it next to Space Jam: A New Legacy,
Oh yeah.
2021 PG, 1 hour and 55 minutes. A rogue article intelligent kidnaps the son of famed basketball player LeBron James, who then has to work with Bugs Bunny to win a basketball game. Director Malcolm D. Lee. Writers, same writer. Oh no, based on the Space Jam. Sorry, I forgot they did that. Leo Benvenuti, Steve Rudnick. Oh, I forgot the camera's on me now. And Timothy Harris. So those are the same names. Let's see who else. And the newest, I guess, is Herschel Wee Ingrode. Man, I'm not here today.
It's fine. I'm letting you just plow right through it,
Let's
buddy.
do it, man. Yeah.
You get after it.
LeBron James, Don Cheadle, and Cedric Joe, CJ.
Hey.
So we're doing the Space Jam this week, or tomorrow. So we'll look forward for that one. I'll pop this one up today. But we're going on from Can't Hardly Wait, 10 Things I Hate About You, Space Jam. So we'll see. That was 96.
Yeah.
You had to have been like 6.
Yep. I was
So,
5, 6 years old. I remember they had Michael's special stuff, all that.
Oh man.
We had, it was pure sugar, dude. It was like it was sugar. It was sugar in a little plastic bottle. Whatever.
I still trip
good.
out. There's dudes that wear Michael Jordan right now. Oh, what's going on? I'm getting feedback. Are you getting feedback? Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not getting any feedback. What about now?
No, I think you're good. I was
Good?
like, when I'm like, yeah, just like it works if you just hit it. Whoa, maybe I got too close. Maybe I don't know. Got a little feedback there. Sorry, everybody.
Maybe I got too close. How's that sound?
Maybe didn't get close enough.
Ooh.
Maybe you got to get rid of opponent. I'm Shaquille O'Neal. All right, well, we're done with this. We finished a little early today. Maybe because we had to get it done, and the fact that Matt's extremely early.
Yep.
But hey, did the sun pop out from when I put the thumbs
Yeah.
up?
It's full blown. It's full blown.
I got the knockout blinds. I think that's what they're called, or blackout blinds.
No, I got pure nature right behind me, buddy.
It's just like singeing your
it
back.
makes me look like an angel now, even more so.
I see it there. Oh, that's. Hey,
and we'll be having the same look tomorrow. Don't worry.
I'll be the Scott Baio. You can be the angel.
Yeah.
I can be the angel of Scott Baio. I don't know where we're going. Just trying to fill out time, but I think we should just let everybody go. We're done with this episode. We have completed. We're moving on to Space Jam and Space Jam Legacy, or New Legacy is what they're calling it.
New Legacy.
We'll get into some. I need to finish watching. I'm an hour in, so I already started. But I guess without putting thy in any longer timeth of streaming yard, I bid you adieu.
Yep. Adieu.
I'll see y'all later. Peace.